charge enough money to be extraordinary.
There always will be someone cheaper, always.
Yeah.
Not always will be someone better, and this is what you want to be.
That's where I think our growth is. Our growth isn't one EA at a time, it's one community at a time. For every hour spent learning, spend at least an hour doing. There's way more brilliant people internationally available than there are domestic people available.
If we think that only specific people born in only specific location and only they are smart, this is just stupid thing.
There's a script we've been trained on that making money is taking advantage of people. I want to make millionaires, because then they're going to make me a billionaire.
Go take one client somehow, somewhere from your friends and
Be
family.
honest. Hey, I've never done this before. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Como, Italy. Is it Como or Lake Como, Italy? Como's the city.
Lago di Como.
Lago di Como. We're here celebrating. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you.
Yeah, May 28th,
May 28th, 2025.
2025. And today, we officially hit...
We are waiting for the last ICH that puts us over 1 million gross revenue in Proto Talent.
Yeah. And when did we start collecting funds? Like, when was the very first payday?
I think the very first one was April 2024.
Okay, so it took us more than a year.
Late April 2024, a little bit.
That actually pisses me off. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We hit $1 million in gross revenue. This is number 6 for me. This is number...
1 for me.
1?
Yep.
6 is bigger than 1,
First,
I understand
let's put it
This is your
way.
first, yeah.
It's the first
Yeah,
one. so
and you're
far.
actually winning because you did it way earlier than I did. I was 30 when I hit my first million gross rev. You're
27.
27, so you're 3 years early.
Let's put it this way.
You're 3 years smarter than I am. Yeah. But people ask on a really frequent basis between the YouTube channel, our social following, my incubator, how are you doing this? And I actually think we have the code cracked in so many ways on building, strictly speaking, professional services businesses that, and I hate to use this word, but that scale, or at least scale up to 7 and hopefully approaching 8 figures in revenue. So we have a collection of questions. We've talked to ChatGPT about how to distill those questions most effectively, and we're going to talk through them here and now. On the veranda, on Lago di Como?
Lago di Como.
Lago di Como. When I say it, it sounds Spanish. How do you say it Italian?
I have no idea. I don't know Italian.
Lago di Como.
I know grazie and prego.
Prego. All right.
That's all you need to get the gelato.
I'm asking you the questions.
Let's go through them. Yeah, I populated all of the questions in 4 different categories, which is origin and foundation, system, scale, and struggle, controversy, edge, and hard truths, and last is the vision and future builds.
Yeah.
Let's go through all of them and just reflect on how it went and what are the systems and solutions we can give to someone else launching the same thing. Because I was already asked to speak on this topic in masterminds.
So a couple times.
Yeah.
So, like pretty big masterminds, actually.
Looking forward to that. So let's do a run before I actually do it live with them.
All right. Before I get into the questions, can we talk about, because that's not a part of this, is how we met, our relationship, where that manifested.
I think we can go through it briefly. Yeah.
Just briefly?
Yeah.
You don't want to dive deep?
We can do another the deep dive.
Dude, I think it's cool
video.
because here's what it is. It's meta. Like, we own a staffing agency. Proto Talent staffs high-level executive assistants for overwhelmed entrepreneurs.
That actually reflects into the first question, to be honest.
All right. If I'm like staying to the script, he stopped this 3 times so far.
I build systems and try to follow them.
Yeah,
right? Like you
I
try
break
to disrupt
systems and try to grow them. That's right. All right. The 20 realest questions about how Proto Talent hits $1 million in revenue in 12 months. Origin and foundation. Question number 1. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I was born and ready. What's the full, unfiltered story of how Proto Talent started, from idea to first client?
I think what you just reflected on is idea. Because
I think what I reflected on predates the idea.
Yeah, but I started as your executive assistant.
Right.
So it kind of makes a full circle.
How would you describe Proto Talent for people before we get into this? What's the elevator pitch?
Proto Talent save entrepreneur time through implementing trained and managed executive assistants that work for them full-time and make their vision come true. So entrepreneurs can focus on building other businesses or scaling their current businesses and on something that actually moves the needle rather than the busy work.
That's great.
So I think that's, again, what...
And we're top shelf. Like, it takes 1,000 applicants to produce 1 EA. It's not like you're just it's not a VA.
No, it's a huge... Like, this is something that actually comes back to the idea. Executive assistant is way different from virtual assistant. Because virtual assistant is anyone who works based on the project or task. You just call them virtual, like to say remote. So if you think about virtual assistant, it's just assistant. It's help with anything you want. executive assistants focus on one person and one person only full time, who is focusing on their goals actually.
And they
So
get as
they're
close
embedded.
to cloning that person as they
Yes.
can, right? You want someone who's going to think, which that was our relationship. So Yvonne was my EA. You weren't my first.
No,
Who was before you? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I don't remember
think
either.
so. When I joined Solutions 8, it was 6 employees,
Yeah.
and I don't think you had a EA.
I had tried but failed.
You probably tried.
Yeah.
It sounds like you.
Yeah, I try and fail. Yeah. So Yvonne was my EA. You were a student at university in Poland. I found you on freelancer.com, and you messaged me and basically said, summarized, I've gone back and looked at it. We still have our original message thread, dude.
Yeah, I saw
and you're like, I'll do anything for $1,000 a month, is what you told me. Do you remember this?
I regret it deeply.
Yeah.
But
You were like, what I actually really respected the transparency. You're like, here's what I need to make a living, and from here, I'll solve any problem.
yeah.
And I put you to the test. I took you up on that challenge. I started lobbing problems your way. And the thing that was extraordinary about you that I actually think, if you're watching this and you need an EA, the thing to look for is somebody who doesn't stop at the first roadblock. And I've never met anybody like you since. So I think you'd be an unreasonable bar. And yet, I do think like a lot of our executive assistants still have the tenacity necessary to run through walls, is what I call it.
Yeah.
You know, because if an employee hits a wall and comes to you, the value nullification is pretty significant. But if an employee is willing to try to go around, try to go over, try to go under,
Yeah.
you know, what drew me to you in the first place when I was like, dude, this guy's amazing. And you had a meteoric rise. So how long did you work for me as an employee before we sold Solutions 8? 4 years?
So since 2018, and we sold in
2022.
So 4 years, full years, and then 2 years after the exit for
Okay.
Solutions 8, not you directly.
Yeah. So then, and you started as my EA, and your first promotion was what?
I think we started, so we took the new marketing in-house. I started managing new marketing campaigns and ads.
Yeah.
I built the new marketing systems and SOPs and processes. Then I built the same for Solutions 8, and then we started scaling. We started hiring much more specialists based on my systems.
Yeah.
I started going through them, and then I started implementing more tech, so transition to tech lead. And after that, we started hiring more techs, so I became CTO and started managing techs, implementing stuff for clients and internally for Solid.
And you managed the entire exit. That's the other thing. I had 60 unsolicited offers. Due diligence is an insane process. It was unbelievable. And when they were asking me for these things, I just sent them to you. Financial due diligence, operational due diligence, and you were answering all those questions.
It's 3 months going through all of the Google Drives and all of the files you ever made,
Right.
trying to compile them in something that looks like what people from investment companies might want to see.
But that was a really good introduction to how private equity works, because I anticipate we're going to deal with private equity a lot in our lives. So that's the background. Was that too much of a departure?
No,
I'm coming back to your question.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think what might be interested in here in this first question on how we landed on that idea, because we have not landed on that idea straight away.
Yeah. Dude, so can you tell them what we were working on when we found Proto, what the business idea was?
Yeah, we wanted to run agency for self-storage companies that will
Still
help
a good idea.
will help self-storage owners to get more bookings and more rentals, basically. And we started with that. We were going through all of this idea and then realized that the constraint on this particular niche is the software, because all of them use this very specific software, like 3 different softwares that they use, that don't integrate with anything. And if you want to
they're all
integrate them with
garbage.
anything, then you need to either pay extra or do custom.
Right.
And that was a huge limitations, because if you want to be in like marketing agency, what we are good at, you want to track leads, you want to have CRM, you want to be able to send email verifications, automations, all of the other stuff, and they can't do that because of the limitation. So we ended up deciding that we will be the software company, and
We were going to build self-storage software, and we were and we had 3 partners. It was you, me, and Jason Ye. Shout out to Jason.
Yep.
And we were on a call, and I was venting. Do you remember this?
I think it was January or December. So we started all of this idea juggling with that in May or June 2023.
Yeah.
This is where he introduced me to Jason. Then we were meeting like once per month.
And it was
twice per
Jason's
month.
idea to do the self-storage. He heard me talking. We're in a group called Front Row Dads. And he heard me talking in a Front Row Dad community about niche agencies. And he came to me and said, I have a really good idea for a niche. And it still, I think, is a really good idea. It's just the software limitation. So we start working on it when?
I think we started in June 2023 or so. We started working and like looking for ideas. Jason started building scope for these things, and he's really good at that.
He's brilliant process.
So we started building that. Then we started meeting with different self-storage vendors that would be guinea pigs on this offer.
We partnered with Mike Wagner,
Yep.
who owns Self Storage Rebellion.
Yeah, and then we started going through the companies, started going through all of that, and ultimately realized that it's huge capital investment up front, and it's not usually how we like to do things.
Yeah.
So, like, again, we will come to that in a second. And it's just not worth it as a three dudes who don't know how to code. So if we were three dudes that know how to code.
Because we talked to software engineers and all of them wanted it was basically $100,000 for an MVP, no guarantees, and equity.
Yeah. So that's, again, tough. And right now, probably it would be much easier with Lovable.
Much easier, yeah.
Well, right now, I would have MVP in the weekend. Yeah. But anyway, so we went through all of that, and I remember we were stuck in December or January December 2023 or January 2024. And I remember this call where we were going through the domain list of yours.
Yeah.
And just, because we were really excited to partner, all of us together, and we were looking for other ideas. So we started going through the domains, and Kasim had this domain called Proto Talent.
Yeah.
ProtoTalent.com. And this was for, as I remember, the framework that you developed a couple of years prior.
Right. So I have a hiring framework that we've actually written a book about. We have a book coming out soon called Hire.
Yep.
And I was just going to teach people. I never really wanted to launch an agency. I was just going to teach people how to hire. At Solutions 8, we scaled up. We had almost 100 employees.
Yep.
And I had 40% margins in an industry that aims at 20% as the high water mark. And I was able to do that because I took international talent and I did what people do with domestic talent, which is I gave them CTO work. So most people, forgive me for saying this, you stop me if I get offensive. Most people take a human resource in Ukraine and treat them like a virtual assistant, give them grunt work.
Yeah.
I'm the first agency that I feel like ever put really high value roles out for international access.
Yeah.
This is the thing that I think is so stupid, dude, is there's way more brilliant people internationally available than there are domestic people available. Because domestically...
Just the math.
Right.
If we think that only specific people born in only specific location and only they are smart, this is just stupid thinking.
Yeah. So you can get triple PhD genius level talent, which you are.
Any PhDs.
You know what I mean? You're that smart. Dude, God forgive me for saying this, but it's true. If you were born in the States, you would just be working at Google. You wouldn't have wanted to come work for me. You would have been snapped up by one of the top Fortune 100. But I found you, took gross advantage of your situation, right? I'm exploiting. I've gotten YouTube comments from people saying, "Oh, you're exploiting people in third world countries," and I'm like, I mean, if that's how you choose to look at it, I thought we had a pretty symbiotic relationship.
Treat me horribly. You gave me half the agency and took me to Lago di Como, and now we are just struggling.
Here we are.
Just struggling.
Just dying, yeah.
Trying
so
to
abusive.
survive.
So that's a good take-home message for others, is part of what makes Proto Talent work is we're actually flipping the outsourcing model on its head.
Yeah. We'll have a lot of that on what someone else. That's basically
is that the full unfiltered story of how Proto Talent started?
I think so, yeah. So we
from idea to first client. So we have the idea.
We had this idea.
And it was actually Jason's idea. That's the most interesting part, is Jason was the one who said, "Dude, you're so passionate about this. You have to do this."
Yeah.
And we ended up buying him out. Do we get that here?
No, we don't.
So I think that's an important discussion because, first of all, we love Jason.
Mm-hmm.
He was an awesome person to work with. He had this great mind for processes, and he's done really big businesses that neither of us have done. But his energy around the new idea didn't match his energy around self-storage. He's actually back.
Right now, again, circling back the full story, right now Jason has 2 assistants with us working on his other startups.
Which is what? What's his other startup? Let's give him a shot.
I think AI automations. I might be wrong, so I'm sorry if I am.
So, but it's so funny, dude. Jason was brought into our lives to give us this idea and then segue out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's one thing that I always tell people in my incubator. All partnerships end. Assume the partnership is going to end. And if you do, it's not a marriage.
Divorce before getting married.
Yeah. Well, it's what happens, me and John Moran. He's one of my best friends of all time. We sold Solutions 8 and that partnership ended. We're still friends, but we're no longer business partners. All partnerships end. Hopefully they end well. With Jason, it ended really well.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe there's another, I might partner with John again on AEO, for instance. Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, from the idea, we went through this domain list and decided that we are going to help place people, and we didn't land on executive assistant field back then, as I remember. We helped like on some.
I didn't remember that.
I think we landed on some like assistance or like some help, so like more generic position that we can place.
Yeah.
And then we saw that we will like scale out in different roles, in different positions.
Media buyer and graphic designer and software developer.
So we decided again that we will do what we can do best. And back then, the way we decided to attribute the talent was to run a 3-day challenge that would be like hour a day, and then it would qualify people for a bigger program that would take 10 days for them, and hour and a half for every day, and we would train them on all of the skills and tools that we will have. Right now, we simplified it and extended the training, basically.
Yeah. When was our first bootcamp? Do you remember?
I think we started running the ads in February. We graduated people by the end of March, and we placed the first person, which is Albano with Tim Bratton.
Albano was our very first placement.
Very first placement.
So shout out Tim Bratton, for those of you that don't know, founded Rhapsody.
Which became Napster, which became Spotify.
Yeah, he's had an IPO. He's had a couple billion-dollar businesses.
A couple of public companies, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant human. One of my favorite clients of all time.
That favorite client.
Yeah, and just like a cool dude. And him and Albano, didn't he put Albano's name on some patents now?
Yeah.
So he's partnering with Albano. Here he is, again, taking advantage of these people in, emerging nations. So him and Albano are unbelievably symbiotic.
So the very first client call, the very first interview, so we don't know anything about the model. We have these 10 assistants that graduated. We had 11 assistants. One of the assistants I took from myself, which Ampi, works with me.
Dude, Ampi's got screwed. Imagine if she was with Tim Bratton right now. She'd be so much better off.
The very first interview call that we have with a real client, we have no idea what we're doing. And the call was scheduled for 30 minutes. It lasts 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Because they connected so freaking well. And it goes super well. So this is when we know that, okay, we like something clicked. Something worked.
Dude, we have to send Tim a gift. Our very first client, the first money in the door.
You decide what it would be. I sent very cool gifts to all of the older clients.
Yeah, he got a bobblehead, but we had to give Tim something really special because he was our first.
Take him to Lago di Como.
That's what we'll do. All right. That's actually a really good idea. We should take maybe our first. I don't know where the cutoff line is, but like it's our first batch. We had 10 EAs, our first 10 clients.
Founding fathers.
Our founding fathers, fathers and mothers, because
right.
Gender neutral, Yvonne. Question 2. We're never going to get through all these. Why did you pick Latin America and executive assistants as your model?
I see majority of the benefit for entrepreneurs. Like, let's start from Latin America. Majority of the benefit for entrepreneurs is coming from 3 things. First of all is the time zone.
Yeah.
Time zone is just brilliant for executive assistant because executive assistant need to work your hours.
Right.
They need to work the same hours that you do comfortably. And this is another thing that we'll talk in the future, what we think. So I think for that, executive assistant works great because if you take somebody from Colombia with somebody from Central Time Zone, they have the same time zone. So that works really well. The second thing is them knowing English really well or having the accent that is Spanish accent that is much better working for American ear. So that usually is not a problem. And a lot of clients also benefit from their assistant knowing useful language like Spanish.
Right.
Because in the US, especially in the service industries,
right,
it's a pretty big deal. You can work with much more of different contractors more comfortably and have your EA again request and get access to the businesses otherwise would be not accessible to you.
Yeah.
Because again, not a lot of smaller business owners can afford a dedicated person that speaks Spanish just for servicing particular industry. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I'd add a third one, which is, what did you say? Time zone language.
Time zone language.
I think cultural alignment. There's more cultural alignment with the Latin American communities than there is, like, if you go to North Africa, East Asia, even Eastern Europe, interestingly. And you and Ksenia said this yesterday. Ksenia's Yvonne's wife. If you don't mind me sharing this, you said, we have more in common with Asian culture than we do with American culture in so many ways, right? Like, you talk to your Asian friends about parenting, for instance, and your parents are more like their parents.
Yeah.
The Latin American culture is very, we're all in the Americas.
Yeah.
It's this, generally speaking, similar types of religious and ideological commitments, which is relevant because holidays are aligned. values are aligned.
A lot of this is religion.
Yeah, I think so too.
A lot of this is just being Catholics. So the values, and I don't like saying that, but the values proposed by the religion, they align really well.
Yeah. 100%.
With what people have in the US.
And beyond the religion, though, there's actually some politically driven values. Like, we've noticed that our EAs tend to have certain leanings that have been consistent, and they're common denominators that, like, surprised me because I know nothing about Latin American communities.
Yeah. And
a lot of that has to do with age and location and all those things, too.
And
we're trying to dance on this a little. There's some eggshells here, right? It's hard to. We're talking about religion and politics right now.
Yeah,
but that's what happens when we do international business. Is you have to be prepared for those conversations.
And again, we just cautious of that. A lot of people just go for the cheapest place. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Latin America is way not the cheapest place to hire.
Dude, by far. Yeah, so, I mean, you can go to East Asia, and I mean, actually right now we have some employees in Pakistan, and they're a literal fraction.
Yeah.
And actually really thrilled with that salary, but there's way more cultural nuance, management involved, overhead necessary, headache, heartache, yeah.
Okay. And the second part of the question, the executive assistant, I think it's the most important role for small to medium business.
Yeah, if you don't have an EA, that's one of the big questions I get a lot when I'm doing coaching, which I'm horrible at. Don't hire me as a coach. But what should my first hire be? And I never knew what the answer was. It was like, well, let's dig into your business. And really it's, if you don't have an EA, get an EA. Because now you get to clone yourself. And the EA is a flywheel. What's cool about your EA is, my EA became my CTO. My next EA became my director of automations. My next EA became my director of social. So you kind of figure out what somebody's good at and you push them into that role.
This, executive assistant allows business owners to get from working in the business as self-employed to be an actual business owner.
Right.
Because now you are not the only one to have to go and do all of this stuff.
Do real work.
You can start delegating. You can start working on things. So, for example, delegate your inbox, delegate some research, and work on developing some custom solution for your business or custom partnerships, right? That you didn't have time for because you need to go and reply to all of these emails or go and generate this invoice. All of these tasks, they take 5, 10, 15 minutes for you to do, but once they compile all together, it takes your whole day.
It's your whole day, yeah.
So that's why a lot of business owners actually burn out and work on weekends and work overtime because this overtime is where you can start working on your business because you're done with working in your business.
That's the thing that I think is funny is we get pushback from people sometimes. An EA might take an hour to do a task that you can do in 15 minutes. That's a good trade. People look at a task and they're like, I could have done that so much faster. And it's like, yeah. And if you look at what you bill hourly and what they cost you hourly, the arithmetic works on a multiple.
I built that calculator in Lovable.
Of course you did.
Yeah, where people can populate all of the time they spent and then populate what they make per year, more or less.
Yeah.
And it will tell you if it's time for a year or not.
You're going to build us right out of a job, just so you know. You keep building all this crap that automates everything. Question 3. What personal pain point were you solving, and would you do it again the same way?
I think we have different answers on that.
I love this question. You go first.
My personal pain points is exactly what you said, is giving international folks, just like myself, opportunity to do real impact, do real things.
Yeah.
And to equip them with the tools that I know entrepreneurs want in their assistant. Because here's the thing, when you're when you're a person in Ukraine or in Argentina, in Colombia, you don't know what these American entrepreneurs want.
Right.
So, you can learn anything in the world. You have access to all of the knowledge on YouTube.
But nobody's pointed your muzzle.
But, you don't know where to start. You don't know what they actually want. Yeah. And we have exposure to all of that. Right. So we go ahead and train them on these things. You need to know Lovable, you need to know ClickUp, you need to know HighLevel, how to build landing pages.
Well, and not just know Lovable, ClickUp, HighLevel, but what facets. Because even HighLevel,
yes.
There's so much to learn. And there's really 5% of the functionality makes up 80 to 90% of the real utilization.
Yeah. So that's my pain point. It's helping these folks and
you stole mine. My goal in life is to bring people freedom, Yvonne.
I mean, as an entrepreneur, you probably have the actual pain point.
The pain point for me is operators.
Yeah.
So it's actually I don't want an EA really, and I never introduced that idea. But what happened with you and me is that's my gold standard. I find a human that I trust and I can partner with to do something bigger. And since then, I've actually kind of, to smaller degrees, like I have Julian right now, who's my business builder, and me and Julian tried a couple of businesses together. We tried to build a newsletter agency. It failed. I can't say it failed. It just had more friction than I expected, and then we got diverted. We tried to do a social repurposing agency, and again, same thing happened. And then all of a sudden, we landed on AEO. I was on a phone call with you and Nuno Tavares, our other partner in another business, and Nuno introduces this acronym, AEO. I had no idea what it was. And within 30 minutes, I owned AEO.co. Cost me, I forget what, like 10 grand. Because I was like, dude, I just saw the vision instantly as soon as he explained it. I tell Julian, we're building an AEO agency. Julian wrote the book, created the community. I own school.com/AEO. Developed processes for the early stage agency, and we're about to launch. And you own 10% of that business. For no reason.
Good for me.
Yeah, you've done nothing.
Stop.
Yeah.
I'm building this tool at least.
Yeah, you built a tool. But, that's actually, I think, a fun conversation for us to have, which is when you have these symbiotic partnerships, like you bring things to me, I do nothing for architects. You know what I mean? Like outside of maybe some lead generation. And you get put in a position, and we're in that position now to where you're in the dorm room and people come up with the idea, and so you end up getting a little bit of equity. Which I think is helpful. And then you bring what you do bring to the table, even though it feels small, ends up being really substantial. It's like a lever. It's like, oh, I know who can pull this lever. Yep. All right. We answered number 3. How do you feel about that?
Good to go. Let's do the last one. This section.
Question. No, we have 2 more.
Okay.
There's 4 and 5.
Okay.
Question 4. How did you fund this business at the start, and how much did you personally invest? And it's asking you on 3 levels of analysis: money, time, and energy.
Okay. Let's start with the money.
Couple grand?
I think to get our first, so the only thing we paid for from the acquisition standpoint is to acquire assistants.
Yeah.
So we ran ads.
That's not. I mean, we hosted a website. We bought a domain. I actually already owned.
So the website was HighLevel, and HighLevel sub account was free because you already have.
Oh, I didn't know the website was HighLevel.
Yeah, the very first website was on HighLevel.
Yeah.
It was free because you have HighLevel for new marketing instance. So we just used the same sub account, the same agency account, and built a sub account in there. We ran ads, so all of the forms, ads, forms, website automations, all of that was free, basically, because it was a shared cost among other business, basically.
Right.
Otherwise, it would cost us $97.
Okay, so assume a $97 startup cost.
Then the ads for assistants, we spent $2,000.
$2 grand is what I remember too.
Yeah, on Facebook ads to acquire.
I funded that.
Yeah, to acquire assistants. Then. That's it. And domain, $10.
Yeah, but I already bought the domain.
Slack was free. Everything else, all of the training tools, these were tools that we had were free. Stripe is 3% from the revenue, so it's not.
There's no monthly fee.
No monthly fee.
So we started this with $2,097.
Yeah, more or less. And here is the thing: our pricing back then, and we'll touch on the pricing more. Pricing back then was $2,000 monthly,
which was a horrible idea. We had no margin.
Yeah. Plus $5,000 one-time placement fee.
So our very first client
covered everything and made us money.
Nice. What about time and energy? How long? Because you built the infrastructure.
Yeah, I think the whole build out for the offer, for the initial offer, for the website, ads, everything else, and agenda for the first challenge for the first 3 days took us about 2 weeks, and then we spent another 2 weeks on developing the actual training program. So I would say a month of time, and it wasn't full time. So it was like part time, maybe like 2-3 hours a day for a month from me and Jason. Jason put a lot of effort in the training. I think that's again what we spent in the time. And then again, we didn't have the acquisition cost, so that's the benefit of having some audience in the very beginning. I will touch that, I think, in the future as well.
It's a really good point. So if you're watching this and you're brand new, one of, I think, my most important frameworks is traffic first. If you don't know where your traffic is coming from, you don't have a business. Yeah. And we knew we had the potential for traffic. Yeah. Although we didn't really run it. I didn't even run test messaging, did I?
No. The only thing, I don't remember the exact message that you sent, but
it was a Facebook post.
Yeah, back then, what was your audience on Facebook? Like 3,000 people?
I had 3,500 friends, but I think I had like 7,000 followers.
Okay, so like 10,000 people that know custom from
So
other
followers
businesses.
and the friends overlap, so 7,000 in total.
But we knew the problem existed, and this is the benefit of being in an entrepreneurial circle, in masterminds and places like that, that you have the opportunity to speak with entrepreneurs about their problems.
Yeah.
So you're not, this is a really good framework for starting a business, is like solve existing problems. Don't just assume that the problem exists, but go and ask someone if the problem exists. And these like very people that will tell you that they have this problem, they will be your first customers as well.
And we graduated 10 EAs from $2,000, so it's $200 cost per acquisition per EA.
Yeah.
And you know what's really interesting about that is I'm assuming we placed all 10 of those, right?
No. One woman found another job prior to placing her.
One of them blew up. Wasn't there like a...
Yes, and another one wasn't a good fit. And it was we can talk about that later on, but it was a problem on our end. We didn't manage the expectations well enough with entrepreneur, and the assistant ended up having the tasks.
Teal fellow person?
No. This is another one, and this was the second cohort.
Oh, it was the second cohort. Okay. Teal fellow was second cohort.
Yep.
Yeah. We have to talk about that at some point.
Yeah, we will have a question about that as well.
Question 5. And the end of our origin and foundation category. I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel good so far?
Liking it so far.
I'm not frustrating you?
Huh?
No?
No.
All right. I frustrate the shit out of Ivan, just so everybody knows. What are the key principles or philosophies you refuse to compromise on, even when it slowed growth?
Placing, we made this mistake in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Right now, I would not accept everyone as a client.
The clients are when the relationship fails, it's usually not the EA, it's usually the client.
Yeah, so managing the expectations really well on what you are doing versus what you are not doing.
Yeah.
So if you will start chasing money and placing more clients in our particular business, and I think it's applicable to all of the business.
Solutions 8 was like this.
You will not have a lot of fun, and you will not have happy clients as well, because you will overpromise, underdeliver.
Right.
They will come to you with reasonable requests for why you're not doing what you told you will do.
Right.
And you will come back to, okay, it's out of the scope, or we are not doing
Selling more is not profitable.
Yes.
Quantity is not profitable.
You need to push back. You need to push back a lot, and you need only, like what you were saying, the buy box. You need to have all of these parameters come together, and only then this is your client, and you need to serve them. So you need never compromise on that. Only serve your actual client, not everyone who has money.
Brilliantly stated. I have nothing to add to that. I absolutely agree. Category 2, systems, scale, and struggles.
I love the AI names for the categories.
And dude, ChatGPT, these are great. It blows my mind. Question 6. What does the business look like under the hood? Team structure, client count, MRR, profit margins, churn, etc.
And this is the reason why I got the laptop. And this is before we dive into that, this is the real. I'm blown away how many businesses don't know any of these numbers. So a lot of businesses just do it day to day, and they just hope that by the end of the month they will have more money than they spent.
When they started,
it goes this way. So the first thing I've done when we launched Proto Talent is that I opened Airtable and created a table with all of the numbers, all of the custom fields that we would need that I saw back then, and we started putting information, all of the accounts, all of the assistants, all of the employees, all of the transactions. This is another thing that I think we do differently, is that we track each transaction that we have in Airtable.
What Ivan just offered is an absolute masterclass on entrepreneurship. If you're watching this and you have any business, go create an Airtable instance, or to be honest with you, any database, but Airtable's so easy.
Glorified spreadsheet, and start tracking everything that feels relevant. So track every individual client. If clients have multiple projects with you, like some clients have multiple EAs, you track every individual interaction. You track what they charge on a month-by-month basis. It's not hard. It's tedious. Yeah.
But it feels, I think the reason entrepreneurs get into this trouble is because it feels unnecessary when you're small. You have 3 clients, and you're like, why would I track this? And it's like, well, 3 is going to go to 6 quick.
Yeah.
And 6 goes to 12, and now it's hard to go back and remember what was what.
I see it a lot in solopreneurs that come to us for executive assistant. First hire they decide to make as executive assistant, they come to us, and they don't have anything. They don't have any processes, because everything that they have is inside of their head.
Right.
They know everything, and now when it's time to add someone to their business, they have no idea what to show them.
Yeah.
They don't have SOPs, processes, and other things. So spreadsheets. And if you think that managing spreadsheets is hard, this is why you need executive assistant. As of right now, we have 6 employees.
6 internal, not including our EAs.
6 internal employees.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many
my
total
EA.
EAs?
It includes my EA. In total EAs that we placed?
Yeah.
1 second.
Sorry,
59 assistants that we placed with Proto Talent clients, but we also placed 3 assistants with you, and we placed another 5 assistants with architects. So it's another 10 people that were placed
and
as well.
And there have been people that have been placed and bought out as well.
Yes, there was 1 buyout so far, and there is another 2 that probably will happen soon.
So we're approaching 70 placed EAs. And how many do we have trained?
We have another 87 people that are ready to get placed right now.
Okay.
So it's 182 total EAs that went through.
54 clients, 70 placed EAs with some redundancies and then some internal hires.
And 87 people that are ready to go as well.
Okay. And then, sorry, I interrupted you. Internal team, 6 employees.
Internal team, 6 employees. It includes our 2 talent success managers. It's a position that we developed for this particular business. It's the person who helps with the relationship between the executive assistant and entrepreneur, helping entrepreneurs with the delegation and helping executive assistants with their actual performance. And it's Mrika and Carolina who joined us most recently. And Mrika was our second hire. The very first hire, and again, I tell this a lot on the sales calls, is that if we would be drug dealers, we would be very bad businessmen. Because the very first hire we made is my executive assistant, MP. So we use our own product a lot, more than our clients, to be honest. And this is great business for funding talent in our entities. So
because we take all the best talent for ourselves.
Yeah.
Although we should have taken Albano from Tim because he's unbelievable. There's some people that I look at and I'm like, dude, how did we ever let you go?
Albano is not leaving Tim ever.
Yeah.
Then we have our SMM, so Camila, who helps us with marketing, with shooting the videos, with editing. We have Virginia, who's admin person, because the overhead on the admin side of the business is huge. We send birthday cakes to all of our assistants. We send first day gifts. We send merch. We send Christmas bonuses. We help them with equipment once we cooperate that with entrepreneurs. All of the different things. And when you have 10 assistants, you can do it yourself or have your EA to do that. Once you have 70 assistants and you have these 60 entrepreneurs, you need someone to do that, because each week we have birthday, each week we have something that needs to be taken care of, and all of these extracurricular activities are a part of Kasim's ideas, because on all of the weekly calls that we have, Kasim why don't we send birthday cakes to everyone? That would be really cool. And now we have to go and figure out a system, vendors, and all of the other stuff on how to do that, because we have assistants in 6 different countries in LATAM. That's why this is something Virginia helps with, and we're super excited for that. So 6 employees to manage all of this business. And this is what I love about that business, is that the overhead is not that big in terms of the employees in particular.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about margins. So this is a hard conversation to have, because it's how much do you reveal? But I want to provide as much value as I can. I'd like to say we have healthy margins. And people can do the math themselves as they engage with us. And so we've been challenged, not often, but enough times by prospects that I think basically are why are you charging so much money? And what I'd like to offer, if you're listening and watching this, if you're building a business, be the premium offering. Apple Computers has more cash on hand than the US government. And they earned it. You know what I mean? They offered this thing that was extraordinary that, to be honest with you, at this point, most of us can't live without.
People come, they want guarantees, they want support, they want tools, they want training, and they expect to pay you less for that than they would just go ahead and hire somebody directly from freelancer or something.
But when they hire them directly, it's the relationship's going to be
they come to you because they were burned by all of these other things and expect the same price. This is just not possible, in my opinion. And I really like that approach. And this is what we so our initial pricing was different. And I don't remember if we'll have a question about the price, but the initial pricing was different. It was lower, and we increased the price. We decreased the entry level, but increased the monthly pricing in order to afford the service that we need to afford.
Time to hold hands, manage clients, manage EAs.
If you want to succeed, yes.
Yeah.
So if you want this business to succeed, you need to provide much more support, much more help, which is required in order for that to succeed. And this is why our clients stay. This is why our churn is very minimal.
Well, and that's the rule here is charge enough money to be extraordinary. Like Apple charges enough money to be extraordinary.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of these little VA agencies that are charging, you know, it's like, oh, $4 an hour.
There always will be someone cheaper, always.
Yeah.
And there, not always will be someone better. And this is what you want to be. You want to be better, not cheaper.
Dude, that's who we were at Solutions 8. I used to get challenged all the time on my pricing. And what I would tell people there and what I tell people here too is I have more demand than I have supply.
Yeah.
So can I charge you less? Yeah. I own the company. If I wanted to, I could give this to you for free. And this is how much it makes sense for me to charge, because if you don't buy, somebody else will.
Yeah.
You know, we're not hurting for clients.
Yes.
So I know that sounds combative, but I also think it's really important. And I hope I'm not talking to the viewer as a potential Pareto client right now. I'm talking to people from an entrepreneurial perspective on how we build these businesses.
Yeah.
Solutions 8 was extraordinary because we were the best, but we charged enough to be the best. And we invested in so much infrastructure. We did so much more just in conversion tracking than any other agency I know.
All of like in Solutions 8 in particular, all of the training, any training that anyone on our team wanted,
we bought it.
It's accessible straight away.
Yeah,
because our
training,
people,
communities,
the best training, best tools. Like we go ahead and buy any tools.
And we do that at Pareto too.
Yes,
like our EAs have entire software suites that we pay for.
For example, like Operator AI. When Operator AI was just released, it's $200 a month.
Yeah.
Like it's unacceptable expense for a lot of different business owners.
Right.
We bought it on the very first day it was released to have a training for our EAs on the second day. So all of our EAs got trained on that. And now when we place somebody, they already know how to use these tools if business owners want them to. So something like that needs money, you need to spend some to make some.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs actually feel guilty about making money. There's this weird, I don't know what it is. It's, there's a script we've been trained on that making money is taking advantage of people.
I see that a lot where people charge way too little. Way too
just
little.
The minimum they need to survive.
And here is the thing. It's not always driving the conversions nor clients up.
Right. Well, and it actually hurts the clients because when you charge that little and something goes wrong, you can't afford to fix it.
To be honest, right now, like if our pricing was like $1,000, $1,500 or whatever it is, we wouldn't get our clients that we're getting right now because they want better, they want best, they understand that it comes in the price, and seeing your lower price, they think it's not right offer for them.
Yeah, so we charge $3,000 a month right now for a placed DA, and you can get, I mean, some of these agencies, especially when they're in East Asia, you know, you can get them for $1,200 a month. Yeah. And people come to us with that expectation, and to be honest, it's a great filter. It's like, hey, that's not who we are. Yeah. Go try them. We'll see you in 6 months.
We literally had this story where we had a call in June. Person comes to us. Back then, the pricing was $2,000 a month and $5,000 placement fee. They come to us. They say that, I love everything, but it's too expensive. I can hire someone like myself. I will go do that. They came back in October.
Really?
When our pricing was $3,000 a month.
We did change it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I told them that, okay, our pricing is higher right now. We cannot guarantee the same rate we had before. And they hired. They went through the process. They hired 2 EAs in this time before the June and October. Both of them burned, didn't have enough training, enough support, and they decided to go with twice more expensive thing than they were paying themselves to get what they were looking for.
And I think what we've built, dude, it's so symbiotic. Like we pay the EAs more than they'd make domestically. They work from home. They work on a flexible schedule because we make sure that they're cared for. They get to do meaningful work. The clients that were overwhelmed get help, and we make money in between. It's like win, win, win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you feel guilty at all? I feel zero. I feel zero.
I feel excited about every placement I make.
Yeah. All right. Good. I'm glad we're on the same page. Question 7: what was the lowest moment building Pareto? Client loss, cash crunch, EA meltdown.
I'm not sure if it's the same for you. I had my lowest one a couple of months ago.
You called me. You're like, dude, today I forgot what you said. You're like, today's hard.
Yeah,
It feels like
it was the
everything's
worst day
crashing
of the
down.
business hour. We had basically in one day, 2 of our assistants quit. One of them quit in the very first day. So she started and didn't show up for a second day and just ghosted us.
Yeah, with a really important client.
Yeah, it was amazing client, and it was
dude,
such an
what was
unfortunate. That was
crazy
pissing me off the most.
She was so promising.
Yes.
She had the highest cognitive score of anybody we ever tested. She did great in bootcamp, great final project, great interview.
So you go through, this is the reason why we have all of the processes that we have in place, is to vet people. So our bootcamp is basically 10 days of interviews of 2.5 hours with all of our EAs.
Right.
Which again, no one does anything like that.
And we had an agreement with her. We had a legally binding...
Yeah. So that was like just stupid. And there was no definement for that. Like we are working on reverse engineering this, like why this happened. But anyways, and within the same week, we had another assistant who worked with a client for a couple of months at this point and just decided it's not for her as well. So that was feeling really bad because I kind of failed on delivering.
It was your fault.
On delivering the promise to entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
In like a lot of, like we have our guarantees. Both of entrepreneurs were placed with a different assistant, and both of them are excited as far as I know.
They're happier now because I heard from Mike. The first person, I think we can share, the first client was Mike Arce.
Yep.
Who owns GSD. He's one of the largest agency owners in the world. I mean, he has a massive event every year. He's a big, like,
he's a great client. He has very reasonable expectations. Had experience with the EAs before and understands the values that we are providing.
Yeah, and he's been a longtime friend. So when she blew up, it was like, God, like why, you know? And it's like nice that he's on the inner circle and was friendly and compassionate and kind.
Mike was super friendly. He said it is what it is, and we placed him with a different assistant within a week time.
Yeah, I heard from him 2 weeks ago, and he said he's thrilled.
Yeah. So that was one, and another one again. We placed an assistant, and she just couldn't keep up with the challenge. It sounded like.
Yeah.
And she decided that she wants out, and we've done a replacement, and it goes well. And again, this is the reason why we have our lifetime replacement guarantees. That if something like that happens, then we can stay by the service. So it's not just headhunting recruitment where we give you a person, we don't care what happens after that.
Right.
We give you a full service of executive assistants. And that allows us to keep on these promises. Is that we went ahead and make each client whole basically on these things. So that was hard point because again we felt on that and.
Dude, I've never heard you like that ever.
What disappointed
We've had some like tough,
me a lot
we worked together 6 years.
What disappointed me a lot is that this executive assistant, it means we failed them as well. They didn't receive the employment or whatever they were looking for, so the expectations were not met. After that, we changed the process a lot.
Yeah.
So I had a long conversation with all of our assistants on that, and we changed our process, helping assistants to prepare better, helping assistants to define the matching better, and after that I developed also the matching algorithm, the app that we are building right now, and we will unveil it in.
I've got another bad day. So that was your worst day. My worst day was at Front Row Dads. I was on stage. There's, I think, 80 dudes in the audience. One of the men I respect most in my life asks me to speak to his mastermind. And one of my buddies is in the audience who has one of our EAs. And in front of like 80 people, he starts talking to me about how it's not working. And I actually had some inside track. And I think that the reason it wasn't working was his ability to delegate or maybe his personality match with his EA. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. And
Assume he's going to watch this. I'm not saying anything that's offensive, right?
To put a point on that, one of the assistants I mentioned is the same assistant was here. So we didn't have that many fails. Yeah. And our face kind of...
Oh, that was the same one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so in front of everybody, he's like, oh, here's why your business isn't working. And what's funny about it is we've changed the EA, and now he's thrilled.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's not going to go back and talk to any of those people.
We, again, went above and beyond to make everything work properly. So, for example, the assistant was working on a Lovable app, the calculator, and she didn't finish that. So I stepped in, I took my assistant. She went ahead and built everything, implemented everything, put everything on the website, so everything is working. Yeah. And we, again, just want to ensure that everyone is getting what they're looking for.
Yeah. So the framework here, I think, from a reputation management perspective, a lot of businesses are willing, if you have 50 clients and one's unhappy, I think a lot of businesses are willing to let that go. Because it's 5%. You have a 95% positive score. 50 clients, one unhappy, 1 out of 50, it's 2%. You're right. 1 out of 20 is thank you, Yvonne. Cammy, keep that in there so people know how bad I am at math. It's 2%. You're 98%. You're an A+ student. We don't do that.
Yeah.
One unhappy client, and we put it. I mean, you kill it with fire.
You need to, like with each thing, you need to look in if that is a system problem or if this is a person problem.
Yeah.
If you even suspect that this is a system problem, you need to go back to the blueprint of the business, redraw it, and see how you can fix it. We had an internal thing where we developed our internal business map, and each of the unsuccessful placements we ever had, either with a client or with assistant, we went through that with the team, categorizing and grouping them to understand better why we failed and understand what was the problem. And that allows us again to implement these things within the matching. I would say majority of the problems is the matching. Is right person with the right person, so they click.
Yeah.
Then you don't have majority.
It's really hard. It's 2 points of failure.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a hard business overall because in your normal agency, in Google Ads, for example, whatever you are running in agency, you need to keep client happy.
Right.
You care about employees,
but it's easier.
The chance that employee will all of a sudden quit on you and decide that it's not for them is much lower.
Right.
Because again, you need to, your employees already know what they're into. In our case, assistants don't know what is waiting for them exactly because each client is unique, their business is unique. So that's why sometimes it just doesn't work out. So we need to ensure that both of them are satisfied and excited to continue that.
I told somebody this recently. I know the clients pay us, but I consider the EAs to be who we serve.
Yeah.
Because that's actually the source of all value in terms of what we're providing. And if we ever get looked at or perceived as something like, like an entity that's extracting value, it kills our model. Because that information spreads.
This is what, again, we will have this question in future, as I remember, but this is what a lot of agencies do wrong. A lot of recruitment, they treat people as commodities. And again, we'll touch on that.
Don't treat
and I know you're again. Can go in depth on that.
I lost our questions. Oh, we just asked what was the lowest moment. Question 8: what are the actual systems and tools that let you run this lean and scale this fast?
That's a good question.
Airtable.
Airtable, number 1. You need to keep track of everything. Airtable or spreadsheets, it doesn't matter. Right now,
Airtable has a weird limitation on automations.
It has the biggest limitation in Airtable is 1,000 rows. So
yeah, which is also weird.
When we hit 1,000 rows, we already had 40 grand MRR. So I afforded to pay $700 a year for Airtable.
But no, I mean, Airtable has a limitation on their automations regardless of what you pay.
To be honest, we use very low automations in Airtable.
Yeah,
even
I still think it's weird.
We had some birthday reminders and things like that in Airtable, or when client hits a certain milestone, like 90 days, 180 days, reminding us to do admin stuff. But other than that, we don't use the automations that much. So Airtable is number 1, keeping track of everything. HighLevel is number 2. We use HighLevel for assistants, for tracking assistants and tracking clients. So HighLevel, again, a lot of people use it for CRM and for project management, which I think is wrong, which I think you need to use HighLevel for sales and marketing.
And have a whole different system for project management.
Yes.
Yeah.
So up until sales and marketing, once you close the client goes to Airtable, and then we launch a ClickUp project for a client to fill out the checklist and do everything that we are supposed to do for a client launch.
And ClickUp's my favorite project management tool of all time.
Yes.
And I've made you deploy every project management tool we've ever had. Every 6 months at Solutions 8, I made one change our project management tool. He used to God, you were always so mad at me. It was so funny.
Back then I couldn't tell you that no.
Oh, you did all the time.
But
you would tell me no from day one. You would tell me this is, I swear to God, you would say the words, this is stupid. And that to me, if you're an entrepreneur and you ever find an employee that will tell you this is stupid, that person is worth their weight in gold. And you keep them as close to you as you possibly can. Because the bigger you get, the more successful you get, the more yes men you're surrounded with.
Yeah.
So Vaughn used to all the time be like, this is stupid. And then we talk it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
That was always a good reason.
We tried Asana, teamwork, we worked in HubSpot, we worked in ClickUp.
HubSpot's garbage. I hope HubSpot burns to the ground. I hate them. I'm so glad HighLevel's eating them alive.
We switched from HubSpot charging us $3,000 a month or so, I don't remember, to HighLevel that charge us $300 a month,
I know.
and does like
Everything.
we wanted in HubSpot and unlimited number of times for all of our clients in Solutions 8 or anywhere else in either marketing and so on. So yeah, HighLevel is just amazing. And yeah, so our main tools are HighLevel, ClickUp, Airtable. Then when we grew up, when I wanted to create some blogs and other things, HighLevel back then wasn't good with blogs and website builds. So we moved the website to WordPress. And this is all of our tech stack. We have a lot of
the technology we give to our EAs to use for clients, but for us,
this is for us, for actual building the
Stripe for merchant processing.
Yeah,
we pay more for merchant processing fees than we should. I think that's worth digging into.
For annual client subscriptions, we have 30 grand package. We are not
only.
Yeah, I had client who pay with card. But we added $900 in fee.
Yeah, so we have to.
Yeah,
because other business.
Again, it's $900 that otherwise would go to assistants and employees. It doesn't make sense to pay that much.
Which, dude, I would use my American Express for everything. And when people say there's going to be a fee, I understand because Amex charges an insane fee.
Yes. Again, all of our clients are business owners, so all of them understand. If you are B2C and they why do you charge me more?
Yeah.
It's
why
different.
Are you taxing me?
Yeah. So these are main tools. Then again, there is a ChatGPT. We use Lovable. We use Predictive Index. And we started using Predictive Index
is amazing.
Yeah. Right now,
shout out to Allison Grizzle.
Yep.
Who's our Predictive Index consultant.
Right now, we pay a lot for Predictive Index. Right now,
but it's worth it because
I don't think we should tell exactly how much. Because I'm not sure what's Allison.
I think we're getting a friends and family rate too.
Yeah.
At least that's what she makes us believe.
But it's significant. It's in tens of thousands. Not tens of thousands, but a lot.
Yeah.
5 figures.
You did it.
5 figures.
Yeah. Well, now you told them exactly how much it is, basically. Yeah. It's a non-plural 5. Yeah. That's so funny. Question 9. What bottleneck or risk would destroy Pareto if you don't fix it in the next 6 months?
So I just fixed it. It was matching, I would say. So here was the problem that you face. So when we just started, when we had our first 10 assistants, I knew everyone by name. I knew their pets, knew their hobbies, everything. And I was the one actually matching everyone. Then we hired Marika and we had our second cohort. We graduated 20 people from the second cohort.
It was 21.
Yeah, and then it's 30 people, still manageable. We still can navigate. And if you think about it, 30 assistants, 30 entrepreneurs, you need to know both. And right now,
what a good point.
Right now, it's 200 people, basically, 300 people. There is no way I know everyone's name. I know everyone's name, but it's getting much harder. So I developed this Lovable app that allows us to populate all of the information from our Airtable. And this is the reason why you need Airtable. You need to have the raw data somewhere, so then you can process it in various ways. So we developed this Lovable app. In Lovable app, we connect all the information.
Can I pause you? If you're not familiar with it, Lovable is a tool that allows you to build software with prompts. And Ivan has become a lovable genius. That's true 2 ways. He's very lovable, and he understands Lovable, which is worth looking into. But just because we reference it a lot, I wanted to offer that context for people that don't know.
Exactly. So Lovable allows you to build no-code apps. Basically, all I'm doing in Lovable is being a very bitchy client, telling it, I don't like this button, move it here.
Yeah.
I integrated it with Airtable's API, I integrated with OpenAI's API, and we populated all of the information of all of our clients, all of our assistants, and that allows much more standardized matching that is based on a lot of different factors and utilizes AI functionality on top of that. And this acts as a guidance for our TSM, not like a rule that, hey, if it says this is the best EA, it's the best EA. Sometimes humans are complicated. They're not binary. It's just, it's not easy to tell, this is one, so this is good.
Right.
You need to know much more context. So it gives guidance for our TSMs on how to match people better. And this is something we are launching right now. And I think that was a big bottleneck, to know everyone's needs and to be able to match them properly.
I think AI, if we're talking about existential crisis, what bottleneck or risk would destroy Pareto if you don't fix it in the next 6 months? What I tell our EAs is, for as long as we're the ones prompting the output, we continue to provide the value necessary to justify our existence. The minute the client has to come to us and prompt the output, AI will become easier to prompt than we will.
Yeah.
Inevitably, on a long enough timeline.
Yeah.
So the value isn't in doing the work. The value is in identifying the work that needs to be done and doing it. And I think that I think Pareto's a 20-year business, 200-year business. Like, humanity will always need that. It will always need somebody to look at something and say, oh, this needs to be done.
Yes.
But if you're just going to be an order taker.
Yeah. So this is what I say a lot on the sales calls as well, is that we train our assistants with AI so heavily. So our assistants are the one implementing AI on your behalf in your business based on what you want. Because majority of entrepreneurs I speak with, they don't have time to go and sit on YouTube for 3 hours to figure, again, Lovable.
Right.
Things like that.
But in 2 years, they won't need to. It'll be so sophisticated.
Yeah.
Right?
And again, somebody still needs to write prompts.
That's
somebody
what I mean.
still needs to do
Whoever
these
controls the prompt is bringing the value.
Imagine, again, this is what I'm doing for me all the time. She went ahead and developed her own apps that we need without me actually like guiding her to that.
Yeah.
She developed this job description generator for book on Lovable right now. So things like that, and this is the value of assistance. So and we didn't even prompt her to do that. She just went ahead and done it because it was a valuable thing that we could add.
That's the big risk, though. That's what we have to keep our EAs trained on and understanding, is they have to be proactive. How many clients left, ask for refunds or replacements, and what did you learn from that?
In Airtable, we have 8 clients that ended accounts. One of them was a buyout. So one of them decided that their assistant overpays the role of assistant, and they wanted to take them fully in-house and didn't want our continuous support with executive assistant support. So they, again...
And we met that guy when we went to Argentina. No, we went to Colombia.
Yeah, the assistant, yep.
Yeah, what was his name? David. Yeah, he was awesome. I could see why the entrepreneur would want to buy him out.
Yep.
Yeah. So 7 cancellations.
7 cancellations, yes.
So I'm looking at these. The first one, I think that EA just blew up.
Yeah. Again, majority of the cancellations are mismatched. Majority of cancellations are mismatched with the assistant. So the assistant did not do a good job, and the client was not willing to proceed with the replacement.
Well, I'll say for the first one, and this is a very dear friend of mine, they didn't meet with their EA for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So the EA blowing up.
This was a early state. It was June or July.
It was a broken process.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I don't know who that is.
That one. The other one, it was different. So the assistant done a good job. The person was not meeting with them frequently enough, and they did not know exactly what to delegate and how to delegate. So they never worked with an assistant before. We guided them on these things, but again, this person was not just willing to commit that much for this delegation and did not want to use EA and started EA position, perhaps. So they wanted custom projects and other things. This 3, one is interesting.
That guy didn't have a real business. That's the one you made me meet with.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shouldn't have ever had an EA. We want to know why he wanted to meet? Because he wanted to ask me what business he should start.
Another one, it was client with unrealistic expectations. We tried with 2 different assistants. Both assistants came to the same conclusion, came with the same problems back to us.
Really?
So the first one, we thought the problem was assistant. The second one, we were sure that the problem is client. And I think we'll have this question later on. This was a client that we fired as a client.
Yeah.
So we told it.
How did that go?
I think it went pretty well. We make the kind, so we refunded the placement fee.
Yeah.
Even though we were not supposed to. So we, again, decided that it was the right thing to do.
Management.
Yes, and done with that. Next one was, again, the client that had unrealistic expectations.
Which is funny. This is a friend of mine, and I spoke to this person personally and said, we don't staff for grunt work.
Yeah.
And then they turned around and they wanted 100 cold outreaches a day or something.
Yeah, basically spreadsheet work. And
the epitome of grunt work.
This was the reason why we lost an assistant as well. Because
they refused
we promised to the assistants the same thing, that they will be doing meaningful work. A lot of our assistants coming from a background in BPO or call center or other things that they used to be doing, and they don't want to do it anymore. That's why they want to do something more meaningful work with people where they make actual impact.
Yeah.
And with this person, we failed. And again, this was not what we expected, not what the assistant expected as well.
This next person I don't want to talk about because
with next person we placed 2 assistants. I think it's a mix of unreasonable expectations and need for the personal assistance more than like actual business assistance.
Dude, I'm not. You're being far more gracious than I would be. So we'll just move on.
And the last one, the client number 7, it was a mix. So the assistant wasn't proactive enough, in my opinion, and the client decided that they don't want to try the replacement.
I don't blame him.
So it was, again, the same thing. We made the client whole. We refunded what we were supposed to refund and went away on the good terms. So we never had anyone who would scream at our face and say that's, again, horrible service, stuff like that. So with all of the clients, it was some sort of mismatch one way or the other. And with all of the clients, we on a good relationship. So we never blew up any accounts, right? So yeah, that's what we have.
That's great. What did we learn?
Matching. We invested much more in predictive index
and expectation management.
Yeah. And this again, same problem that I mentioned in the very beginning is to say no to the clients, where you know that it's not going to work out. Don't say yes and assume that you will somehow make it work. Just say no. It will be much easier than later on dealing with all of this stress.
Well, the thing about expectation management that a lot of, I think, young entrepreneurs don't know is you have to hold the line on that expectation.
Yeah.
Like we told this person, we don't staff for grunt work. This person hired an EA and started giving that EA grunt work.
Yeah.
And I actually think we were fuzzier with that line because he was a friend than we should have been. That's my fault. I needed to come to me like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And he kind of talked me into it. He's like, no, it's really strategic because you have to think about. So that was, who's another example that I think is still a current client. We had somebody who didn't tell us they needed their EA to work some weekends.
Yes.
Which is a question we ask.
Yes.
Hired an EA and then informed him.
Yeah, EA started on the first day and they tell the EA, actually like two weekends a month, we need you to be available, which is fair of their request. But
that has to be done up front.
I just wish we knew that before. And this EA quits. So quits the client. EA is still in the pool of Proto Talent. It decided that it's not for them. We went through our pool proactively. Once we knew this requirement, we went through our pool proactively, presenting this as a requirement that, hey, like, this is a tougher position because you will need to be available like 2 Saturdays in a month. And we found EA that is super excited with that, actually. And it works better for them because then, again, they were able to trade in other time that they had themselves available, right? So this is something, again, that, managing the expectations, getting all of the information up front and making sure that you can actually serve client properly.
Establish boundaries and then hold to the boundaries. I learned this is true in relationships, and I'm just carrying this over. John Vroman taught me this. Your boundaries are yours to uphold. So if you come to somebody and you tell them, I have this particular boundary, that's not on them. Yeah. It's on you. And if they cross the boundary, even then, it's like boundaries have consequences. So if one of our boundaries is you have to be clear about schedules, and then you don't do that, and we soften, that's our fault.
Yeah.
So I think if you're watching this, and I think people are watching this to learn how to build $1 million businesses, that's how you build $1 million businesses. Yeah. A business without boundaries is you can't build.
Imagine coming to McDonald's and asking them for a Caesar salad. Yeah. They have everything to make Caesar salad. They have the sauce, they have some greens.
Example.
Like they can do that, but if they will step outside of what's available on the menu and start making it it will take hopefully a lot of time. It will taste bad, probably, I assume. And it will, again, underserve all of the other clients that otherwise would get served faster with the standard menu items that they have available.
Yeah. Dude, it's the difference between the Apple App Store and the Android App Store. The Apple App Store, we're trying to get an app through right now. It's a huge project.
Yeah.
They keep turning us down. But the Apple App Store has such strict boundaries that when you get an app, it's going to work 100% of the time.
Yeah.
The Android App Store, my rule when I was an Android user, I would just download 3 or 4 apps that did the same thing and try to figure out which one was the least buggy.
Yeah.
Section 3, controversy, edge, and hard truths.
Like I asked ChatGPT to add some spicy.
Some spice.
Yeah, we'll see how spicy it is. I think it's been pretty spicy so far. And I think we held back anything.
I don't think we've held back anything either. Yeah. We'll see if we regret that. What do most VA agencies or staffing companies get wrong that you think is bullshit?
So here's, I think, the biggest advantage we had in the very beginning is that we never researched how to do staffing.
Yeah.
We never went and reverse engineer
Great point that is. Dude.
how
we didn't.
how people do that.
Yeah, we didn't accept conventional wisdom.
Yeah, so like a lot of like the pricing structure, the models, the support, everything else in majority of the recruitment agencies is completely different, and in staffing agencies, like they completely let go and don't support that much. That would allow them to have higher costs, lower costs as well. But I think
We maintain the employer of record position. I think a lot of people don't understand that. Like we're actually still technically the employer.
This is what our clients benefit from actually.
Right.
Is that they sign with US-based LLC.
Right.
They don't have to think
insured.
about the V8 band forms and all the other forms that you technically have to submit.
Yeah.
They don't think of how to get assistance paid.
Currency exchange. Dude, the exchange rate in Argentina has been a nightmare.
That's why our fee is the same. We don't raise the fees month to month. Our fees is guaranteed for 1 year for all of the new clients that sign up. And for longer for previous clients. So I think number one is like us not having to follow like all of the other stuff that people are doing, because a lot of people assume it's right. If everyone is doing that, then it's right. Like no. What
the opposite might be true. If everybody's doing that, it's commoditized to a degree that's no longer efficient.
What was the question again? What they're doing wrong?
What do most VA agencies or staffing companies get wrong that you think is bullshit?
Yeah. So I think the hiring process they have is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not possible to hire or vet the talent using the conventional hiring process.
Right.
You cannot...
Interviews and resumes.
Here is the thing. I tell it again to clients all the time. We see that as like applicants copy your job description, paste it in ChatGPT. ChatGPT generates them CV based on their like some information, generates them the cover letter to introduce themselves and stuff like that. They send it to you and you look in the candidate and everything is like perfect on paper. Like It's amazing. We had applicants that using AI faked their English level. They were speaking Spanish. AI lip syncs and makes them speak English perfect without any accent. And we spotted this.
Yeah, I almost want to hire those people. I feel like that's so industrious.
So something like that. And majority of the recruitment agencies, they will not catch that.
What does a person think when they do that? How are they going to get the job and keep that up?
They don't think of keeping this up, I think. They think of signing up for a month, survive for the first month or two, and then get some leave package as well. Yeah. So especially with a US employer, a lot of them would assume that they will get like 15 days or 30 days paid, not leave, but how do you call it?
Yeah, severance.
Severance, yes.
Okay.
So that's why, again, these are the majority are scam artists in one way or the other. So like spotting stuff like that is getting harder, and majority of the recruitment stuff, they're not ready for anything like that. Another way thing that I think is total bullshit is that they don't have culture, any culture. So all of our assistants are part of Proto Talent. We have 3 weekly calls with all of our assistants. We have training, we have weekly chit chat, and we have Friday town hall for all of our assistants together.
Town hall, we do open mic.
Yeah, anyone can speak about anything they want. They can present for 15 minutes on anything they want, which helps us to learn the culture better, helps assistants to express themselves better, and helps them to practice, again, presentation skills too. So it just builds culture. I don't know any other staffing that does that. In majority of their cases, it's like strict like employment, and that's it. In our case, we try to like serve them, try to help assistants. What you are saying is that they're our client. We try to serve them, have them very equipped and prepared, and help them through all the struggles that they get. I don't think anyone else does that.
Yeah.
This is what we are getting again. We are getting clients from all of our major competitors. We had clients coming. And
I won't say their name, but they're the most analogous to us.
Yes.
Their number 1 referral source. Or no, their number 2 referral source. Remember, she was like the biggest affiliate.
Oh, that was another. I have 5 different clients from 5 different main competitors.
Yeah. So like we're eating the market right now in a really, really good way.
People come to us with the exact problems that we solve. So what we have in terms of community, they didn't have it with competitors. What we have in terms of training, they didn't have this with competitors. Or our guarantees. Another thing that a lot of clients benefit from is our contracts are month to month.
Right.
all of our competitors decide to lock their clients for half a year in a contract.
I mean, that's never made sense to me. Even the agency space at Solutions 8, it's like, why would I want a client who doesn't want to be with me?
Yes.
It's a horribly combative relationship to be in.
Yes, exactly. It's like stock. You cut losses,
right,
and hold on to winners.
Right. Question 12. What's something you believe deeply about remote hiring or delegation that most people disagree with?
You do that.
Well, I have a soapbox. I think every business book that you'll ever read teaches you to hire and train and manage people as other commodities. And these are people that I love, too. This is like Stephen Covey and John C. Maxwell and Ray Dalio, even, like brilliant, amazing, heart-centered entrepreneurs still talk about humans as other commodities. And I think that's insane. Because there's no two humans that are alike, even if they're same training, same background, same pedigree, same experience. And I don't feel like we do that at all. Like, we actually really take the time to consider, this will get preachy, dude, but I don't care anymore. Like, to consider the miracle that every human being is. You know what I mean? Who was that kid that Mitch hired? He does the video. Matthew. When he shared that, dude, that was amazing. And his ability to distill information and then visualize it in a video format, that to me was a miracle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That and every individual EA has that, brings that to the table. And what's funny about it is it's an inconvenient truth. And it's an inconvenient truth because it's not even a
It's not scalable.
It's the epitome of non-scalable.
Yes.
It's impossible to scale. And it doesn't apply to just staffing. If I don't care what business you're in, people aren't commodities. There's only 4 things any business can sell: programs, processes, products, people. And the first 3 are commodities. And the 4th one isn't. And the first 3, especially in the world of AI, are going to become ubiquitously available for almost nothing. So the only key differentiator any business has is people. And people are miracles. But to treat them like commodities nullifies all that's valuable.
The Proto Talent wouldn't be what it is without the people that we got. So the employees that we got kind of dictate what it became, if that makes sense. So we didn't
follow them.
We didn't put them as a cogs, like you fit here, you do that. We added like the analogy of people getting people in the bus and then decide where the bus goes. This is the same thing. And I think it works the best. So probably it could be a different thing. And it's not always bad. Like sometimes, maybe you're in the wrong business and your employees will show you that, hey, we actually need to do that. And look, all of our best clients do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Majority of the business will say, no, this is what we do. You fired.
Dude, that was Solutions 8. We built the #1 ranked Google Ads agency in the world. It was John Moran who came in as an employee first and said, why don't we just run Google Ads?
Yeah.
I had all these other services, and Google Ads was the only thing that was working. Yes. It was also the lowest margin. And I was like, no, dude, I batted him down for months. I was like, that's stupid. You don't understand. And then finally, when we started scaling up the Google Ads business, it became such an obvious thing.
Exactly. So if every employee is unique, then just embrace their uniqueness, not try to suppress that. Yeah. And this is where, again, the results will come from.
Well, and you've been saying on a recurring basis, the most important thing for us, the biggest risk, et cetera, is matching.
Yeah.
That's what that is. It's looking at the miracle that is the employee and the miracle that is the client and figuring out how those 2 miracles can come together.
And again, we don't really know what the particular assistant will become in the future, this particular entrepreneur.
Right.
So this
Dude,
is
look at Cami. Cami came in, she was so cautious. Remember that interview?
Yeah.
She was like, I don't know if I can do this. And I remember I really appreciated that. And she was just really thoughtful and really kind of, I don't want to say slow because she's not slow in her work, but just
took her time to decide.
Took her time, yeah. And then she's owned that facet, I think, in a really good way.
You need to click. And again, you know what I disagree with? Another thing about the previous question. They teach you hire for long and fire quickly.
Yeah.
I think it's super dependent on the person. Sometimes, I've done some very stupid hires that are stupid for other people, where I would meet with the person once and you're hired.
Right.
That's it. Because I just, again, connect with the person and think they're a good fit.
Yeah.
Majority of people will think, okay, I need to hire someone. I will have 5 interviews before, I meet this first person, which is perfect. but I need to finish 4 other interviews because otherwise I'm done a bad job. Like that's not true. If you connected with this very first person, start with them. Go ahead and try, give it a try. Start with them for 2 weeks and tell them, hey, I'm not sure if it's going to work out. Let's try it for 2 weeks, and then we'll revisit that. And if the person is fine with that, start with them. Even if that's not going to work out, you now know better what you're looking for in that particular role, in that particular hire.
I think as long as you're communicating it in that way.
Yes, you need to communicate to the person.
Totally
that, hey,
agree.
No idea if it's going to work out. Do you want to try?
Yeah, love that. You ready for the next one?
Yep.
Question 13. Have you ever had to fire a client because they were toxic or unreasonable? What happened?
I think we have 2 clients, maybe 3 clients.
Okay.
So one of them was just unreasonable. I think, all of them were unreasonable in certain ways. And
one of them was a nut. One of them was a devil wears Prada. Some of the stuff, when I looked at those requests, I can't even, if I repeat them, I'll be giving identity away, right? But you're just are you out of your mind?
This is not,
Dude, it was Meryl Streep in Devil Wears Prada. That's what that felt like.
Unreasonable, for this person, expectations were super reasonable. They were right to make them. They wanted that particular help with that particular thing. And on our end, expectations that we were given were reasonable as well. They just didn't didn't overlap that much. And the problem that I see right now is that we tried to make it work. So I knew it wasn't a fit. I assumed maybe if we try another
the context there, this person had a network that would have been insane. It was one of the biggest, most important networks in the entrepreneurial world.
Yeah.
And had kind of dangled the carrot, hey, if you can make this work for me, I have a whole bunch of friends that...
Yes.
And now I'm I don't want any of your friends. Please. I don't want any of those people. You keep them to yourself.
Again, this is different offer. This person was looking for different thing. We offer different thing, and we both assumed that it can work. It didn't.
Yeah. Well, to put it in context, one of the things that I think I can say is there was they were upset because they sent messages Saturday night when we've already multiple times articulated that the EAs work on a controlled schedule.
Yes.
And just kept insisting. It was so childish, dude. It was it just reminded me of every trust fund baby I've ever known. It's you know what I mean? Just holding their breath and screaming at the top of their lungs, I want it now.
You need to work with your kids better.
Yeah.
Sure they don't become that.
Dude, I make that joke all the time. I've hated rich kids my entire life, and then I had 2 of them. Now I don't know what to do.
I think the other one, which is very important, that we fired, as a client, basically. We were signing the agreement, and all of our assistants gets 20 days PTO, which in the US, for a lot of employers, is, for whatever reason, is ridiculous. So a lot of entrepreneurs in the US think that giving somebody 20 days a year of free time where they can spend it with their family traveling or doing something is ridiculous, which is ridiculous to me.
Well, and in fairness, though, just to qualify that's 20 days total, because here we have federal holidays.
Yes.
But our holidays don't match international holidays. So they have to use that time for all federal holidays, all sick days, all leave.
Yeah.
So it's not I think it's reasonable. It's not massive.
Yeah. We never had any of the employees abuse that. And the way we structure the agreement right now is that it's 1.7 days unlocked every month. So the more months you work, the more PTO you are unlocking and can use. So this person comes to us and they interviewed a couple of assistants. They went through extensive background check with a particular assistant as well. Everything is great, ready to sign. They go through the agreement and they see the 20-day PTO and tell, okay, my US-based employees get, I don't want to lie, 6 days?
Yeah, it was something.
6 days PTO. And this includes federal holidays, 6 days, everything. 6 days. Because again, they say, we need somebody who goes fast. We need somebody who...
No, what she said was, I want somebody as dedicated as me.
Yeah.
And then I was all right, well, do they get equity? Do they get profit share? If you sell the business, what percentage do they get? You know what I mean?
Yes.
What a stupid thing to say.
So, and again, if we would bring this up to the assistant in a way that we tell them, okay, this is what it is, go for it. We would probably, assistant would probably go for it. But this is not what we promised to the assistant.
Right. I'm glad we held the line there.
And we went back and say, no, this is not going to work because, again, we cannot guarantee that your person will stay happy and satisfied with the job and you will get this long-term relationship that you're looking for because you will just burn out for the person.
Dude, 6 days is 1 day every 2 months. That's insane.
If you decide that you have a headache And like one day every 2 months, like you can take a day off. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, or I mean, every doctor's appointment, every ballet recital your kid might have, like one day every 2 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's again, and then life just happens.
Right.
Sometimes, like, can you predict that you will have diarrhea for 3 days in a row?
Yeah.
And it's like, again, you burn out through your PTO just because, again, the food vendor wasn't as clean as this were supposed to be. Like, it's ridiculous.
People like that.
The idea here, again, coming back to that, if you want person to stay with you for a long time, ensure that you treat them like a normal human being.
Well, and imagine had we given up on that one point, now we have this client that knows they can bend the rules. We have an EA that's in a community. I mean, you talked about culture. Culture is important.
Yeah.
You have one EA out of the few hundred that we're going to end up placing probably this year who has 14 days less PTO than everybody else.
Yep.
So the minute somebody posts a picture of themselves traveling or going, you know what I mean? Like
Which happens all the time in our Slack.
Yeah. Well, that's a horrible precedent to set.
That's exactly. So we would compromise on our own values if we are to do that.
Yeah.
So that was, again, lead that we fired. And actually it was, I think, 2 leads that had the same problem.
Yeah.
That we fired. And other than that, if client is being in any way, shape, or form abusive to the assistant,
they're done.
In their language, then
nobody's done that yet.
Thing. This client that we fired was kind of that, to be honest.
Really?
Yes. It really, like, the feedback, the way the feedback was given was in a very harsh form.
I think the take-home message there is stick to your values.
Yes.
Question
Stick to values
14.
and fire clients.
Yeah. Have you ever had ethical doubts, like hiring pressure, fake reviews, inflated metrics, or looking the other way?
I think what this question asks, like for me in particular, everyone tells you that you need to have reviews, case studies, testimonials, and then you start a business and you have nothing. No idea. And the first reaction for majority of people, like just yesterday I was reviewing one thing that one of my friends built, like startup. I know it's a startup, and I see 7 reviews on the page that have AI photos and all of that. Like, I know these are fake. And this is the gut reaction for majority of people. They know, like, I have to have this. Like, that's why I will go ahead and fake this. No.
Right.
Like, go take one client somehow, somewhere from your friends and family.
Just be honest. Hey, I've never done this before.
Yeah, you're doing the best. You and your friends in masterminds.
Yeah.
You guys do the best. Tell him again straight away that, I have no idea
don't know
what I'm doing.
Right. And I'm probably going to do it poorly and I'm going to make a bunch of mistakes, but I'm going to charge you less than anybody else ever be charged, and you'll get more attention than anybody else ever get.
I think this phrase, because I hear similar thing about the testimonials, recommendation from young entrepreneurs about, like, go do it for free for testimonial.
Yeah.
Like, no. If it's valuable, you should be able to charge for that.
Well, and doing it for free, that testimonial is worthless.
Yes.
Because,
it will be worthless, and you won't be able to provide as good of a service if you not, like, imagine us placing an assistant for free. Like, it's ridiculous. No. So do good enough job and overpromise, deliver more values to this, like, first client to give them. So you will get this testimonial, this review from them, and tell them, like, blindly that, hey, I would love to use you as my case study. I would love to build everything to a degree where you will be so satisfied that you will be happy to rave about us.
Yeah. And Tim Bratton does.
Yeah.
Dude, Tim will actively post on my Facebook page. Just want everybody to know how happy I am for Pareto. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah, so over-deliver. So rather than trying to, like, compromise on the values and be sketchy about that, over-deliver and be genuine. This is much more valuable. Like, clients like this much more. And then you have, again, real person. I had it happen with one of my clients, leads actually. So what happened is that I had the testimonial from Mitch on the website. I put it in there, his video, name of the business, his name, his text of the testimonial, etc. Then I met with one of the leads, and what she's done, she saw the Mitch testimonial. She reached out to him directly.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
She emailed him. I found his email on his website.
He has 2.
Huh?
He has 2.
He has 2 assistants now, yeah. She reached out to him, and he confirmed everything he said.
I love that.
So how powerful is that versus a fake review, fake testimonial?
The flip side of that coin, too, is getting clients was hard, but getting EAs was hard as well. Everybody thought we were a scam.
Oh, yeah.
You tell somebody you get to work from home, you get to do meaningful work, we're going to pay you more than you make domestically.
Yep.
And everybody's like, oh, you're con artists.
Yeah.
And that was like most of the comments on the first couple of rounds
This
of
is
ads.
like your new name. Like this is the most popular comment in our ads.
Yeah, and we had no social proof. We had no Instagram. We had no, nothing. So you needed the first handful of people to just take a chance.
Yep. So again, it might be harder, but I think it's much more rewarding and the right way to do it.
Yeah, start slow, grassroots.
So yeah, and the other thing is like harder one, and sometimes I fail on that. I have sometimes clients asking, how many years did you place? And the gut reaction is inflated number, the shit out of the number. It's like 10,000.
Yeah.
Like you trust us. We know what we are doing. It's like it's a gut reaction to do that. The harder thing is to tell like we placed that amount so far.
Yeah.
And again, this amount failed, and I'm being much more honest. Like I had a couple of sales calls where I told like we placed 80. Like I know the number is like 40.
Yeah.
And it's
but
like
we've trained 80, so
it's like with the girls and number of boyfriends before. Like divide by 2, multiply by 1.5, add 3. And then I didn't know the actual method, but it's also like that. So like your formula on how to inflate the number, like deflate in this case the number. But yeah, like just being honest, telling like this is the number we placed so far. This is when we started. This is the number of placements we failed. This is our success rate so far. This is what we got. People honor that like that much more than bigger number, because bigger number means that there will be another point on the spreadsheet basically.
Yeah.
Smaller number means that they will get more attention, and you being honest about that, it's like very valuable for people.
You know what I loved? I learned this from John Moran. If you ask John any question, you know what he does immediately? Shares his screen.
Yeah.
Or if you're texting him, he sends you a screenshot. There's something about showing people.
I do that all the time with our Airtable.
Yeah. That's what John would do. I started doing that on sales calls. Somebody asked me a question about Solutions 8. I'd pull up Airtable.
Yeah.
These are all my clients. I would go to, these are all my lost clients. I'd be like, pick one. And I'd be like, this is why we lost them.
Yeah.
You know, ROAS dipped, the private equity came into their competitors, whatever. Yeah. And all of a sudden, they're like, they can see truth right in front of them.
I shared like our available assistants. Like here's the number for available assistants we have. And the reason why we have so many available assistants to match is to have a more precise match. So this is why it's not because we cannot place them. No, I won't be full of people because I don't know who you will meet exactly. So I want to have more options.
And nobody
available.
wants to go to a dating service where there's only one other.
Yeah. So it's
I hope you like Sally because this is always.
Hey, Sally is me.
Yeah. What was the biggest moment of imposter syndrome while building this, and how did you move through it?
Oh, no idea. Let me think about that. Maybe you have you don't have imposter syndrome. I think
I'm rich. I did it.
Yeah. This is different. I don't know. I think maybe when clients start actively raving about you in groups and masterminds.
That is really interesting.
I feel like, okay, I know like you like our system, but like not that bad. So,
I know,
like,
it's actually, you want people to temper their praise because you're like, I can't
manage their expectations for others. Like
what Albano and Tim Bratton have, I would never guarantee to anybody.
Yes.
You know, like talk about lightning in a bottle. So yeah, I love that Tim praises us so much, and then part of me is like, results are not typical. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure I can make it again.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I feel that every friend who reaches out to me and says, "Hey, I need an EA." Actually, you met Artyom.
Yeah.
He came and spoke to our incubator. Brilliant guy, massive business, very successful. I batted him down. He goes, "Hey, I need a personal assistant," and he kind of told me some of the stuff he needs, and I was like, "Dude, don't. Like, you need somebody in person, because even though I know like we could maybe try to make it work, there's too much at stake. So I guess maybe that's still a little imposter syndrome.
Maybe, and imposter syndrome is like weird because you think that you don't deserve what you make, and I think it comes from you getting the success too fast or something, because we did not like became successful overnight. It's like it's $1 million business right now, but it took a year of time.
And it took a year to work on the previous business almost that was a failure.
Yes. So
and we worked together for years.
I know that everything that we've made processes, systems, and other things that led to that. So again, sometimes like I get it, but it's not such a big problem.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Ready to move for the next category?
Yep.
Vision and future builds. Where is Proto Talent heading in the next 12 to 24 months? What's the big bet?
Okay, so this year we need to place at least 150 assistants total. So we need to place another 80.
There's no way we don't do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will do that. And
Yeah.
we just hired another person to finally help me with sales process.
Which I don't consider what we do sales.
It's not sales. It's
consultation.
Not even consultation. It's vetting.
Vetting. That's a better way to put it.
Vetting if our offer is right for your needs.
Right.
Because I know my offer is good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it fits your needs.
Well, and even if we have the right client, perfect client comes to the door. If we can't find a match for him.
Yeah.
You know?
And again, this is why we have whitelists as well.
Right.
So if we cannot, and I know you're a great client, you want us.
It's weird, dude. We have a bunch of EAs waiting, and we have a bunch of clients waiting.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of
you need the right person
That's
for the
so
right.
frustrating.
It is and it isn't.
I know. It's nice to have the groundswell.
If it just doesn't work out, and again, this is what a lot of clients appreciate, to be honest. I tell them straight away, hey, I'm not sure if we have the right match for you, especially once our pool is lower.
Yeah.
So when we have pool of like 20 assistants left,
Yeah.
what we had from the previous bootcamp, then I can tell the client that like this is what we have. I will introduce you to two that I think could be a match. If none of them match, then I don't want to push.
Yeah.
Let's wait.
I don't like the clients that want to talk to 20 people.
Yeah, we never had this.
Yeah.
We had
no, there are people that want to just feel like they're on the merry-go-round and they've seen everything.
I think the most interviews. This is what our clients appreciate actually, not having the interviews.
Yeah.
The most interviews we had was 4.
Even that's excessive.
Especially
with their matching.
Yes, and this client did not end up going with anyone.
Of course not. Yeah, that's who that personality type is.
And then again, they messaged that they have a friend that hired from Filipino for $1,200, so they are going this route instead.
Yeah.
So it was a money problem, not money problem, but it was a cost problem. Let's put it this way.
Value perception.
And not the quality, in my opinion. So
12 to 24 months.
12 to 24 months. Yeah. 150 clients, 150 assistants placed.
By the end of this year.
By the end of this year.
Dude, I think the way we're scaling, I think we'd have 1,000 next year.
I think we have 300 next year, but I want to double.
I want a 10x.
Here's the difference. Maybe you're right. You had the exit. I did. So, yeah.
Because once we really have, and with the right strategic partnerships too, that's where I think our growth is. Our growth isn't one EA at a time. It's one community at a time. Because once you get into a community and you teach them how to use an EA and you teach our EAs how to serve that community, you could have 100 clients drop with one community, as we've seen.
Yeah. This is like the biggest... we will need to start doing more marketing and the actual sales, like sales process, sales development. Because right now all of our business is referrals. All of our clients come from other clients.
Right.
And again, we have referral program. We pay $1,000 for anyone that
$1,000, folks.
Any referrals that you make that end up hiring from us, we pay $1,000 for this referral to anyone, even if you were on the podcast.
Yeah.
Right now, we are tracking down some podcast hosts who referred the client, and client didn't even knew that you were on this podcast before, and this podcast host mentioned you again. We reach out to this podcast host and then again make sure that we pay them.
Can I pause you there? Because if you're watching this, that's a strategy that I think most people overlook. I have, in my experience, seen most entrepreneurs try to get out of paying referral fees. And dude, we hunt people down. Yeah. It's like pay fast, pay early, pay often. Yeah. Let them know. Because you want that, it's Pavlovian. You want that neuroassociation of where we're at. Every time I send work to Yvonne, I get money. Yeah. Right away too. So
and again, having our referral program is pretty good, and I think we need to go beyond that and have some cold outreach, other things, maybe some email campaigns.
Yeah, dude, to
some degree, you need some word of the mouth.
With 100 clients, is 1,000 EAs. If we're and we need.
If the world is perfect, your conversion rate is 100%. It is.
Well, no, I'm not saying every community has 100 people. Let's say 10,000 people community with a 10% conversion rate.
Yeah. So you need partnerships.
All I'm saying is this feels accessible.
Yes. I think it's realistic to place 1,000 EAs. Yeah.
I also think that the other half of that big bet is AI. An AI-enabled EA becomes the most valuable thing any business has ever done for themselves. Because AI has to be ground up. It can't be top down. You can't look at a business and be like, oh, add AI here, add AI here, add AI here. You have to be on the assembly line. You have to be a line cook. Yeah. And realize the salt can be AI, but the pepper needs to be manual for these reasons. You know?
Yeah. I think that would be the goal, is to scale. And here is the good part about that. So our team is pretty lean, but right now we already developed the process for our TSMs. We know more or less how many clients the TSM can handle.
How many clients can a TSM handle?
About 35.
Okay.
Right now, again, Rika right now has like 40.
Yeah, she's a machine.
So we will be able to scale that portion. That's pretty scalable. So the only thing we need to scale here is hire more TSMs.
Yeah.
Hire more people who manage these relationships. For the sales, again, getting help with that. For the assistants, all we need to do is repeat the bootcamps, improve the trainings, and grow that part. So we have widen the opening, right? So have more ads, have more people come inside. And I'm not sure we'll need that, to be honest, for the assistants. It will be referrals as well.
Yeah. Dude, I want to go to every call center in Colombia. And I want to shut every call center down.
Away, We have people. So one of our assistants from the previous bootcamp, she referred, I don't want to lie. It
13?
was no. I referred. So she referred about 60 people who got in our bootcamp. 13 of them graduated.
Wow.
13 of them became assistants.
And she gets paid every time.
She gets paid. We paid multiple times. We paid the highest person with the highest number of referrals.
Yeah.
This was one thing. Another is each time our assistant get placed, if they were referred by the other assistant, this other assistant also gets bonus for that.
Yeah.
So they get money from that as well. And I think we'll get a lot of referrals. And here is the reason why I'm bringing this up. So this girl worked in a call center that was on like medical stuff. Worst job ever from what she said. She wanted to get people out.
Yeah.
So she referred all of her colleagues. They had a WhatsApp group chat. She blasted this WhatsApp group chat with our offer. They went through our training, and again, certain people will get jobs. I think a lot of them, I think we placed maybe 4 from this 13 already.
Good for her. Who is that?
Fiorella.
Okay. Fiorella. Good job, Fiorella. Would you ever raise money or exit the business? Under what conditions?
I don't think we need to raise money.
Yeah, we'll never raise money. I don't believe in raising money.
Like all of our business was profitable the first client.
Right.
Why would I need
I did
money?
put in $2,000. I think I should get more equity for that. I think it should be like a 90-10 situation because the seed capital is so valuable.
I can get you a bottle of wine.
Never raise money. Would you exit?
Yes.
I'll answer for. I build everything to exit.
Here is the thing.
Yeah.
When we were building that, with the idea of exit, and I think it led to us having better business. Here's why.
Yeah.
Thinking about that one day you will exit the business,
You build it totally different.
leads me to building systems and SOPs that otherwise I would just
Yeah, it's entirely cleaner. I'll tell you though, I mean, it's a money printing machine. The problem with exiting a business like this that's so hyper efficient is somebody'd have to pay an absolute premium.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here's the truth, dude. I love these people. So you'd have to know you're not exiting to like the soulless private equity that's going to do what they did at some other companies that I know exited. You know, like it would have to be a strategic.
No, this is, again, you're impacting so many lives with that.
Yeah.
That just giving it away is, I don't know, it's ridiculous.
Evil. There's a flip side though, because I have seen businesses where if the owner holds on for too long, they inhibit the growth. Imagine a strategic partner that could come in and instead of 1,000 feels very uncomfortable, I think, for both of us. That's a big number.
Yeah.
There's somebody that could buy this and place 10,000 right away because they have the right community, the right systems, the right infrastructure.
If that's the case, if you just, again, you know your business will scale,
right?
That they will not just take it apart for access or data or something
it's like 1 + 1 = 50, let's do it.
Yes, yes. So if the business will grow, then yeah, definitely.
Question 18. What are you building behind the scenes right now that no one knows about? Everybody knows about your Lovable stuff. What does nobody know about? The partnership community, I want to talk about that because if you're watching this and you have a community, here's what we want to do for you. And we've done it right now. We're in one community that's already functioning really well. We have another community that we're cultivating. But to give you an example, let's say that you have a group of dentists or you manage a mastermind specifically financial advisors or whatever. We can train EAs just for financial advisors or train EAs just for dentists. And if you help place those EAs, we actually, our referral partnership is one-off, but our
partnership.
Yeah, what do we call it? So the
referral program?
Yeah, our referral program is a one-time payment.
And partnership program.
But if you're in our partnership program, which means you have to it's 3 people a year is the minimum.
3 people a quarter.
3 people a quarter, forgive me.
Yes.
And so you have to maintain active people. Basically, we want to make sure that recurring outlay isn't.
Yeah. So the way
doing this poorly,
the way we will structure it right now, it's structured a little bit different. The way I think we will structure this is that we will be paying recurringly.
Yeah.
X percentage, which will be 2-digit percentage.
You did well. Keep going. 2 digits could be anything. That could be up to 99%. Yeah.
I didn't say
it's already defined, so everybody knows this isn't negotiable.
Yeah. We will pay a recurring percentage after the relationship hits 30 days.
Yeah.
So once we ensure that this is a right fit, then
and our current partner gets thousands of dollars a month from us. And
well as well.
Yeah, see what I did there? So this could be a really significant partnership opportunity. Yeah. So that was the best sales pitch we've got.
Yeah, that's the thing. And Ampi is building it right now.
Yeah.
Ampi is building the landing page for that right now and the logic behind it right now.
Yeah. And it would be really cool too because our partner actually gets to sell this as his thing. He's like, look what I did. We have EAs that are trained on his curriculum. How big is his mastermind? 150?
They have multiple of masterminds within the mastermind.
The big one's 150.
Yeah.
No, that's the highest end.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, their mid-tier mastermind is even bigger, I think, in terms of members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and again, the way I would do that is that we have our training program, and on top of the training program, we have extra training program just for the mastermind.
Right.
And then it helps to equip assistants with everything, like all the terminology, all of the other things they must know.
Dude, every industry, it's all nomenclature. It's nomenclature, jargon, semantics.
Yep.
As soon as you know the words, you know the industry.
We already have, again, 5 assistants in real estate, for example.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about adding extra training just for real estate.
Brandon. Yeah. He and I have talked about it a lot. I don't know why he hasn't pulled the trigger.
Let's build a program.
I'm going to go poke at him. Coming soon. Dude, you know who else? We pay Sunit for all the referrals he sends us. Have any of those closed?
Yeah, it's yes and yes.
Okay.
Actually, I forgot to pay Sunit for one of the referrals.
Yeah.
He cornered me on Driven, and I paid him right there. Like I opened Chase and make him a stage live right there.
Yeah.
And again, it was totally our fault because again, it's still not really structured. So I think the next bigger growth.
Well, he keeps texting me. He texts me and says like, "Hey, this person wants an EA," and then I'm like, "Great, go book on the website." And I want him someday to be like, "Go book on the website. Don't text me," because the problem is when he texts me, then they start asking me questions, and I break the sales process. You know, and I'm like, dude, we have a whole thing.
I know nothing. I just collect the money.
Yeah. I'm like, I just take money home. I don't know what I'm doing. But it's another lesson for entrepreneurs. Follow the process. You build a process, follow it.
Yeah.
And people that don't want to follow your process, maybe don't work with them. Some exceptions.
Yeah, exactly. So if your intake works a certain way and you know that this intake results in a good result, then don't step away from
Solutions 8. At Solutions 8 required everybody to go through our onboarding before we started running ads.
Yeah.
And every client would be like, "Can you just take over the ads now and then we'll go through onboarding?"
Yeah.
And if we said yes, it blew up 100% of the time.
Yeah. So again, this is coming back to like knowing your buy box. Like if you don't go through that, like you are not our client.
Right. Question 19.
We are getting close.
What would doubling the business break? And how are you preparing for it?
That's an insane question. I was so surprised with ChatGPT coming up with that.
Yeah, also doubling the business isn't hard. We could double now. If the question is what would 10xing the business break?
That's a better question because,
we could literally double right now without a hiccup. Do you disagree with that?
Yeah. The most thing that I'm afraid of breaking is the culture. So if we are if we just would put 1,000 TAs in our Slack,
we would dilute everything.
It will just make everyone else experience a little bit less valuable.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the culture is going to get away from us. That was so surprising to me at Solutions 8 because we did such a good job with company culture, and it was perfect up until it was 30. 30 was the number.
Yeah.
At 30 employees, I felt in total control.
Once you get the second layer of management?
That's exactly what happened. As soon as there was middle management, the culture got away from us. And that's not even necessarily
bad. It's up to each manager.
Yes.
Like, they have individual cultures within each department.
There was a certain culture that was brought that was actually better. You know, I felt that way with some of the strategist teams and how they started to really kind of coalesce. And then there were layers of culture that I didn't like at all.
Yeah.
You know, things that and I didn't know how to manage that. I still don't know.
Yeah. I again don't want to get into the racist stuff.
Yeah. You said racy, not racist.
Racist.
Okay. Oh, it is racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again,
Let's just get racist.
some of the culture, like if we coming back, like let's say again, if we're coming back to solutions, the management of the specialist department, which were primarily Indian, Pakistani, was much more strict.
Well, that was one guy.
Yes,
that was
than
one
I
guy,
would ever do.
And we didn't know he was doing that for a long time.
This is the problem with the culture. Is when you get the middle layer of management, you don't know what he tells to you.
You know, dude, he trolls me on LinkedIn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I blocked him. He like will actively comment on my posts with like mean passive aggressive, which is weird because when he quit, we left on good terms. I got him his next job, and then he started stealing our clients. Did you know this story?
Yeah, I mentioned that.
He started messaging our clients, and so I just messaged him and said, dude, cut that out. And then he went scorched earth. Dude, you know what the lesson there is? That's so funny. Out of 100 employees, one guy broke the culture. How would you watch out for him? Because, dude, he was slick. He was silver-tongued. He was so kind and obsequious to me. You know, like, you'd have thought I was a prince when we were talking. And then it turns out he's running around treating people poorly. And I had no idea.
The only way, and I think we break it, was that hire. The only way I think it's possible to grow with middle management is to hire from within, not hire outside a person.
Well, because who's the big exception to that is Leandra.
Leandra is not an exception. She started in the bottom.
No, didn't I hire her as the head of client management?
No, you hired her as just a regular client management, and she worked with Regina back then closely. They were on the same level.
Yeah.
And then again, same case. So she went through.
It's true of you. It's true of Leander. It's true of Ankar. It's true of Julianne.
Because these people, then they know the culture and they know what they love about being employee, and they do the same to their lower.
So when you're going to have middle management, only promote from within.
I would do that, to be honest. Like that.
What a great rule.
That makes the most sense because these people will be able to carry on with the culture, with the values that you presented to them, or they will be able to interact on them in the way that
when I mentioned I didn't mean to interrupt you. The cultures that I liked that improved upon our culture all came from internal people.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was the pricks that we brought in from outside that screwed it all up.
And talk about the exit.
Oh God!
If you get outsider upper management, not the middle upper management, then it's like it's different right altogether.
Never met a group of people that are so good at being so bad at something. Wow! If you could wipe the slate clean and rebuild the business from scratch, what would you do?
I have my answer. You have yours?
You go first.
Nothing.
I don't think I'd do anything differently either.
We went through all the mistakes we had to go through to get all the knowledge we had to
necessary.
To lose the clients that we had to lose, the EAs that we had to lose in order to understand what we need to do.
Even our pricing mistake. Like we charged too little in the beginning, but we actually needed that to get those clients in and to get the systems running.
Yeah. I think it's true. And again, these clients still benefiting from that much lower rate.
Well, dude, it's a cost as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we're not making any money on that, but they helped us so much, and we figured it out, and they have amazing people.
And again, I would still do the same pricing for the same people because they are Raven. They are the ones that are advocates of the business.
They're our lighthouse clients. They're great referral sources.
Yep.
Yeah.
So again,
and they treat our people really well.
I don't think this can be like treated as mistakes.
Growth opportunity.
I would maybe. I don't know. No, like I didn't know what I didn't know when we started that.
Right.
So there is no way.
Same.
Like, okay, if I knew what I know right now, the thing I would probably do differently is put much more emphasis on building an amazing work environment for people first.
No, we do that pretty well.
Like I would start with everything that we do right now is birthday cakes, merch, other things. I would start with that. That was the first cohort.
I would take Ampy from you. I would have hired Ampy right out from it. I'm so jealous.
Everything the same.
She's amazing. No, jokes aside, I would hire more of our own people. I should have had 2 or 3 A's running at a single time. Here's the other thing. I have a portfolio of companies. I have way too many irons in the fire. This is what I think people need to learn. If you're an entrepreneur with a business, you need 1 EA.
Yeah.
if you have a portfolio of companies or multiple initiatives, or a serial entrepreneur, which is a lot of successful entrepreneurs, you need an EA per entity, probably, right? Like
I would say about like 30% of all of our entrepreneurs have 2+ businesses.
Right.
About 60% have 1+. Like
when
two
it's
businesses.
unfair to have one EA try to help manage all that. Like poor Josefina.
Yeah. That's why we in the onboarding process we ask our entrepreneurs to define all of the business, define what are their roles in all of the businesses, define what are the goals for all of this business, because your EA needs to know that. Because like we say Pareto, we don't say Pareto Talent. We say solid or other things. Like we already use.
There's a shorthand.
Yeah, we already use like shorter names, and for a person who steps in and you mention them 5 different companies within the first day,
right?
Like they will freak out,
right?
So you need to be very strategic about that. We have EAs working on multiple businesses for their entrepreneurs, pretty successfully. But for example, a couple of entrepreneurs hire second EA right now for their like second business.
Yeah, that should almost be the rule. It's like every business needs its own EA. I mean, I have a couple side hustles that sort of make sense to bundle. Like everything I have in real estate. We have MHP offers, Kevin buys, KRSS, JTB, syndications.com. Even that dude though isn't necessarily real estate as much as it is SaaS.
Yeah.
Right? So like one EA could probably manage those 4, but then that 5th one you need a different person for.
Yeah. Oh yeah, manage that.
Yeah. I have a 21st question for you. Talking to people about partnerships. What could I do better as a partner?
Something.
That's what I'm asking.
At least something. Do something.
Oh, do anything. Do literally any work. Dude, anytime I try to do work, you get mad and you're like, you're doing this wrong, you're breaking it.
I think it works well. Like each and every partnership that ever I've seen that ever was successful 50-50.
Yeah.
One partner does the traffic, another partner does the product.
Exact same framework.
That's the only way it can be like working in a fair way.
Right.
Like I focus on the processes, on the sales, on everything else.
Yeah.
You just figure out how to get more clients. That's it.
And you do that pretty well.
Yeah, I think it works out pretty well. So
I have what's fun is my job leads to its own obsolescence first. Which is great for me.
Here you go. Yeah.
Here's the last thing I'll say about Preto that I really like is it's a metal detector business. Solutions 8 was like this. Mm-hmm. So we had 200 clients, and I got to see every industry and how they work and how they make their money and where the opportunities were. And from that, we actually launched other businesses. So a lot of the real estate businesses I just named came from Solutions 8 because I got to see like, oh man, look at the opportunity here. We're doing the same thing with Preto because from Preto was birthed Architects, which does high-end GoHighLevel services. Yep. Nuno Tavares is our partner there. Yep. From Preto is now being birthed TechStack.com.
Yep.
Nuno and Perry Belcher, partners there.
Yep. It's
the social media thing that we might build. Like it lends itself to other opportunities in other businesses.
But I think these opportunities are not coming from the clients of Pareto.
No.
They're coming from systems.
Resources.
So you see someone really good at something and
build a business. Dude, I want a newsletter agency. I want a content repurposing agency.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of fun. So like this one little business is going to spin off dozens of businesses. And it's going to spin off the people that we need to build those businesses. Look what happened with Julian and AEO.
Yeah. That's, again, coming back to why we are doing all of that, that's the fulfillment part. Is that you can find basically business partners that can grow to like full equity owner business partner.
Oh, yeah. I've talked to Perry about this with AEO. We're reserving 10% of the profits and we're going to share it with all the employees. The thing I did wrong at Solutions 8 is I didn't align the incentives well.
Yeah.
I think we did this better at Pareto. Like the fact that the TSMs have no ceilings on what they can make.
Yep.
The more clients you have, the more we pay you. As long as those clients are happy, like that's brilliant. I want people I want to make millionaires. You know what I mean? Because then they're going to make me a billionaire. Like that's symbiotic. And there's always going to be some YouTube commenter dipshit that's like, you're taking advantage of people. And it's like, all right, dude. The funny thing about those people is, if you ever look at their profiles and see what they are.
I try to ignore that.
Like, dude, I'll go, yeah.
You will stalk them.
Yeah, well, I just want to know. Somebody's being that critical, and it's never anybody that's provided value in any way. It's like, just these.
This is the thing. People don't have the context, don't have other things, don't have anything. All they see, like, I was just running this ad for EAs, and I decided to mention the salary in the ad, and bunch of comments like, is that what you're expecting for like as a salary for Rockstar EA? Like they triple that and stuff like that. And then you look into what person actually does, for example. They don't have any job or anything like that. They're waiting for this perfect opportunity that will never come.
Yeah.
They want everything without inputting anything.
Yeah.
They expect that, again, they will just get the 10K salary first month just off the bat without any experience, any other things.
Yeah. A lot of that's a generational problem.
A lot of people don't willing to put in the work to get it. Like, again, I started for $1,000 a month working with you.
It was actually $1,200.
I started for 1,000.
Asked for 1,000.
No, I asked for 1,000 in the evening of the same day. You reached out to me and said, let's give you like 1,200.
Yeah. Do you know? I googled it. I said, what is the top salary range for entry level white collar in Poland?
Yeah.
And it said 1,200, and I didn't want you to feel cheated, so I was like, all right, let's do.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think is a smart thing to do, because then.
What you are saying in the book as well is like pay like 10% more.
Yeah. And it does, I mean, $200 didn't cost me anything, but I think it earned a lot of trust.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that like I started on much lower salary.
Yeah.
And right now, just from Pareto, I'm drawing more.
Yeah, I know that about you. You're technically, I think this is okay to say, this business, I know we already talked about how fake business valuations
in a month right now, I make more than back then I was making, in a month, but more than I was making in a year.
You're also technically a millionaire at this point. From a valuation perspective, this business
we are not using valuations for that.
I know.
That network.
And it's just fun to think about.
Yeah.
Like, here's the story that I want to be able to tell. And as soon as you hit your $1 million, we're going to tell this story, which is you started as my EA, became my business partner, and you're now a millionaire. Because when we get to tell that story, every EA who comes to the door, it's like, look at the obvious example. And dude, if we can do that again and again and again
Here's the thing. People think that, again, you get that straight away.
No.
And you don't input, 7 years?
Yeah, it takes a decade.
7 years of my life working on these things, learning these things, building these things. And still, again, I'm still under 30, so it's still like technically good. Yeah. It's not like millionaire 20 that you open like your YouTube or Instagram and see like
such a
driving Lambo and then 20 I'm running the ads for the eco.
In the statistical modeling, you know what I mean? Like nobody gets that. I think we actually speed people up, you know?
Yeah, again, a lot of the people, they see the opportunities they never seen before and they didn't know existed, right? So we have this, my favorite story, this is what I added into the sales deck, is where assistants never had experience working remotely.
Right.
Like Agustina or Mauro.
Yeah.
Right.
Mauro's a great story. Worked construction beforehand. Yeah. Luigi's like that too. Yeah.
Never worked before.
No
one would ever give them a chance.
Right.
I mean it in a nice way. Not like, hey, no one would give you. I will give you a chance. No, like literally, because you don't have experience. You didn't go through the college, and people assume that you need to go through the college in order to have any opportunities open up and put something in your CV. So then you can try to apply. Now. We went through the training. They did our final project, which is super expensive thing to do, and now they're good. They're much better than people who had experience.
Right.
And I don't care.
And they're humble.
Experience
and they work hard.
Yeah. And then they go ahead and crush it.
Everybody with Ampy. Ampy this is her very first job ever.
Yeah.
We should have made her go get another job so she could see how bad the world is. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
She's so spoiled now. She thinks this is normal.
Again, that one. Like, she deserves everything she got.
I love her, dude. She's amazing. Yeah.
Awesome. I think we've done it.
What are we not saying that we should say?
I think we should do another one at 10 mil.
I like that. Dude, we got to do not just 10. Let's do one at 3, 5.
Yeah.
Each of those phases. We should just do one every year. Here's what I'll say. If you're watching this, go start now. Yvonne and I started a business trying to do marketing for self-storage that failed. And it was months long of failure, but it led to this very successful business that for me is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done entrepreneurially.
Oh, yeah.
Ever. So like, stop. You're watching right now, and that's okay. It's okay to watch, to listen, to read, but we over-index towards education. For every hour spent learning, spend at least an hour doing. Go right now today, buy a domain name, register an LLC, create an operating agreement.
Don't create LLC. You don't need LLC to land the first client.
You have to take the money. How do you take the money?
You can always take the money in some way. You can
Fine, you're right. Just
like
start.
a lot of, like for me, for example, when I was just doing things, Especially if you're international, like registering an LLC in the US seemed like a big commitment.
Yeah,
and
you're right. You don't have to do
it was
that.
complicated
Dude,
and
go
taxes
post
and
to
other
Facebook
things.
and say, hey,
Yeah, go
find a client.
Find a client on
Right.
doing anything.
Literally anything, but they have to pay you some amount of money.
Yeah.
And you can undercharge it and give them the Fladland sales pitch. I don't know what I'm doing.
I like that it's a noun, like flat and self.
Yeah, so he's the one that taught me this. I don't know what I'm doing. I probably shouldn't do this. I'm not going to be good at it. I'm probably going to make a bunch of mistakes, but I'm going to charge you less than anybody will ever charge you, and you're going to get more attention than anybody will ever
I
get.
don't agree with the charge less than anyone like ever charged.
That's what happened. We charged
like
a fraction.
Yeah. No, like I will charge you what I think it's worth, and you tell me if it's not worth that. Like I would put it this way.
Sure, that's fine. Either way, it's like, hey, I'd like to get started, and you're going to find a friendly client that gives you the first chance, and then you kill yourself to make sure you do.
And another thing that you like, I would say that Pareto offer, like the actual offer, became real after our offer sessions in September.
What do you mean? Like us iterating over?
Yeah, when we had 3 meetings in a row where we went through the offer and defined the offer, defined the guarantees, defined our incentives.
Do you remember what catalyzed that? It was us reading Hormozi's book.
Yeah.
That $100 million offer book is dude, I hate to. I know the guy. He's Jesus now to us in the marketing world.
If Jesus would hit the gym.
Yeah, dude, it really was extraordinarily well done. And we read the book, and then didn't you go train a ChatGPT on the offer? Yeah.
I have a ChatGPT that's called Pareto Consultant.
Yeah.
That is trained on the book, that is actually Alex Harbosi. And this is the weirdest thing about the voices, like using ChatGPT and AI like to emulate someone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm not paying Alex Harmosi for the consultant. I just have ChatGPT doing that.
Dude,
we need to pay Harmosi for it.
Our offer came from $100 million offers. Like the whole thing, the way that we craft the guarantees, how they're phrased, how they're approached, what we price.
That's, amazing book.
It's amazing.
It's nothing groundbreaking.
That's what's brilliant about it. He actually didn't create anything new. He went and took everything old and just...
It's just a workbook. It's not a read book. It's a workbook.
Yeah.
You go ahead, you like, as you read, you just, okay, what is my guarantee? Sit down. Okay, this is my guarantee.
Yeah.
What is my pricing? Check out what your competitors have. Double that. This is my pricing.
Right. Isn't that funny?
And then why? How do I justify that? What's my value for that?
Yeah, how do I
go
make
ahead,
it, give
go
more,
ahead and
make
it
more?
the value.
You know what? We're having such a hard time with architects. We should go through $100 million offer with architects.
I did that. So the offer that we have for architects, I ran it through that. So I have my, again,
you ran it through the GPT, but I don't think you did it the way that you did it with Pareto. Because with Pareto, we actually went through manually.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe we should.
$1 million. How many businesses do we own together?
No, 5, 6.
A lot. Yeah.
We need to make one for every other business that hits $1 million.
Dude. All right, we'll do it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Go hire an EA.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thug Life.
Bye.